for goodness sake. Looks like the stream's functioning as intended. Well, kind of. Oh boy. Oh, hello. And welcome back to another coffee break. So a lot of things subsequently went wrong at once. For one, the usual streaming method I use when I do these coffee breaks wasn't working for some reason. Like, usually I have a separate display window capturing the banner that you see in front of you with all the music and stuff. But that wasn't working for whatever reason. When I went to hit display, it was just a blank white screen, which was really weird. So it wasn't working. So instead, I've just got it capturing my actual display, which isn't quite as reliable. And then right when I started this stream, I'm babysitting some cats right now, and I just heard one of them like slam into a metal bowl or something into their bowl. I think they just knocked all their food everywhere. I don't want to have to get up and look, but I feel like I'm gonna have to. Oh boy. So, a rocky start, definitely, to be sure. But anyway. Yeah, wow, it has been quite the past couple of weeks, but I think it's been busy for everybody. You know, it's whether or not you celebrate Christmas, it's getting pretty close to that time of the year, and there's a lot to take care of right now. Okay, so as a result, yeah, I don't have my usual setup right now. I had to move into a temporary place to live, and I've kind of just got like a really makeshift setup right now. And oh my goodness, I have had the biggest writer's block. I want to make a new audio, but I don't know what to write. It's like I've been trying to sit down and write for the past couple days, and nothing's just coming to me. And I have a few backups, but I don't think they work too well for the holidays, 'cause one is like one is like an apocalyptic one about finding hope, but given current circumstances, I don't know if that would be in particularly good taste right now. And the other one's like a Magic Academy, a la something like Harry Potter or Strixhaven, which I think would be pretty fun. I've had that one in writing for a while, but I just haven't found the right time to upload it. Anyway, I forgot to say hello to everybody. Hello, Violet Shimmer has boinged into the chat. Hoy, Exalted Space. Hello, Granola. You don't celebrate Christmas if you feel the stress? Fair enough. Tosca Desire, perfect. Perfect indeed. Okay. I'm gonna really quickly check outside and see what the condition... Oh, actually, I should probably mention that I cannot... So, normally I look at the streaming software in order to check comments, but I can't do that this time because if I try to, it will appear on the actual stream, like the entire labs. So I'm just using my phone right now, so we probably have until it dies. What about Mortal Boyfriend helps Angel Listener get their wings? Oh no, it's not that I don't have ideas. Like, I have a ton of ideas. I have a huge list of things I want to write. It's just I sit down and I hold my hand above the keyboard and I don't really know where to start. It's like I don't really know what to say, or I don't really know how to write these conversations. And, generally, it's like, generally I want to reach at least, like 10 pages or so of writing, so that every audio is, like, roughly it's 1 minute per page. It's usually a lot more than that, maybe 2 or 3, depending on how many words are on it. But generally, it's like I want it to be 10 minutes long. But I feel like the next one may be very, very short. And again, ideas aren't the problem, because it's like, if you don't know what to write about, there is a huge list of scripts online. Those come with their own myriad of problems, though, because 9 times out of 10, when you do that, you get someone in the comments going like, "Whoa, you copied the script from this person, you monster." And then you go and take a look at the person they're accusing copying of, and they have quite deliberately said, "I don't own this script, it was written by this person," but everyone misses it. Yeah. So it's like art block, like you have the materials and everything, but it's not working for you. Yeah, essentially. It's like I know what I want to write. Like, I'm working on a platonic audio right now, and I have another trans audio on the way, and I'm working on a visual novel right now, but I also have, right, somebody requested that I do one where the listener, like an emo listener or goth listener, and I thought that'd be pretty fun. Then I thought an exchange student thing would be fun to work with as well, and so many people have been requesting more of Rave, so I'm trying to think of what to do with him. Again, it's like lots of ideas, just don't know what to do with them, because you start with something like, I want it to be about Rave. Okay. What are Rave and the listener going to do, though? And then when they're doing it, what are they going to talk about? Because you want to keep it, fairly long. Right. I've also, just because I have a thing for vampires, I've wanted to do a vampire couple. I thought that'd be pretty fun. A lot of people have requested having your vampire boyfriend turn you, which I don't know. I'm like, I don't think that'd be very relaxing, but a lot of other people think otherwise. Okay, coffee sounds sad and sleepy. You need hugs. Well, I won't say no to hugs. Oh no, I don't. Well, I'm a little sleepy, but I'm not sad. It's more so, the reason I started streaming was because I hit my deadline for this week. It's like, I gotta get something up tonight, and I do not have anything written or prepared, so instead, I will simply stream, but I will be very low and very quiet. And if anyone wants to listen to the stream afterwards, maybe my voice will put you to sleep. Who knows? Or maybe it won't. I'm just sitting here, but kick back, relax, put some headphones on. And let's hope I don't get any big notifications in the next little while. Goth listener and Sunshine speaker, so it's Wednesday and I suppose I haven't seen Wednesday, but a lot of my classmates are raving about it. Ellie sneezed. Congratulations, Ellie. You sneezed. You did it. You expelled. Can just never find the time where my place is quiet to record and stream when it sucks. Yes. Another reason why I haven't been recording for a while is because I have had a huge cold for the past 2 weeks, and it was like, that was back when I was in my apartment with my roommate, and my roommate was always home all the time. And I can't stream, or not stream, I can't record when my roommate is there. I just get really self-conscious. Like, sometimes I can. Like, it's like, I can do certain ones, and it's fine. But it's like, then there's like the Patreon stuff, which I will not do while there's other people around. And you sound like you have a lot on your plate, you should relax. I can't relax, unfortunately, whether I like it or not. I have to pay rent, and I don't pay rent by just relaxing, so I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. It is what it is. Don't worry, I enjoy doing this. It's a little stressful right now because writer's block. But it's gonna go away eventually. And hey, worst comes to worst, I'll post a shorter audio, and it may not do as amazing, but that's not what's important. Not everyone is in. I don't know if anyone's gonna enjoy a shorter audio quite as much, but I think people will just be happy to hear some. Just to have another audio for the week, you know. I think definitely one of the biggest struggles of being a content creator is you kind of forget there's other content creators that people are probably watching. So it's like if you don't get any content up for the week, it's not the end of the world. People will probably, it's not they're gonna be starved for things to watch. Anyhow, if I manage to and finish my game stream, I've been learning the Japanese song Religion is Normanji, and it's difficult. Yeah, I've tried learning some Japanese recently, and I basically gave up because it's like, oh my gosh, learning a language is hard. Okay, this apartment I'm staying in has fruit flies all over the place, and they keep like bzzing around me as soon as I turn my monitor on. You probably noticed that the lighting for this particular banner is a lot darker than usual. That is to help with the sleepy vibes. Been drinking ginger milk like a maniac because I'm scared to get sick. Getting sick isn't amazing, I suppose. I have too many ideas in my brain, restores my body's way to start doing anything. I'm just stuck. I can relate. That's one of the ways I found out I had ADHD, actually, was finding out, whoa, a ton of ideas and trouble finding motivation to do them? That seems about right. Okay. I'm gonna really quickly open the door and see if that bowl is okay. And maybe I'll bring someone in here. Hold on. So I don't know if you can hear her, but this is BB, the kitten that I've been babysitting for. Can you? She's very close to the microphone. I think she can purr into the mic. She's only a kitten though, and she's probably gonna get very rowdy in a couple of seconds, and I'll have to throw her out of the room so she doesn't eat my setup. Hey, BB. BB. Hey, you're on stream. There's a bunch of people listening to you right now. You can't see it, but I'm just basically cradling her in my arms. She doesn't mind. Baby. Yeah, you guys can hear the purring? Hey, hello. Do you want to say anything to the stream, baby? Oh, come on, you were mewing earlier. What's going on now? You don't want to meow anymore? No? Baby. She's just staring at the monitor. Yeah, that says coffee mug. Let's see. You're just here with your candy cane latte. Oh, that sounds really nice. Hello, BB. They're saying hi. It's not the motivation to draw a bunch today, but my drawing software said not to work. Oh, that sucks. I hate when you got the motivation, but then nothing works. The kitty death stare. She's shy. She is kind of shy. Stone-faced BB. You hear that? You're a stone-faced BB. BB. Alright, you want to go back outside now? Yeah? Okay. Oh, she's eyeing my headset. No, you're not going to chew on my headset. Go on. Her mama's also out there as well. Yeah, I'm babysitting for two cats, the kitten Baby and her mom Yonaka. And Yonaka is currently asleep right now. I was gonna bring Yonaka in, but I didn't want to interrupt her sleep. She looked very comfy. Also, let me know if you guys can hear me well enough back here, because I'm leaning back in my chair, because I have to lean forward. Anyway, stone. Anyway, recently got a new puppy. That's nice. Yeah, I think I've yeah, that's the cold. Still showing up. I mentioned before that I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. I like dogs. I do like dogs. I'm just, a person that's working quite a lot, and I'm not great at giving. Dogs require a lot of attention, and I can't give that. So I'm more of a cat person since I do find them cuter, but also, they don't require constant attention unless they're kittens. They can go off and do their own thing, and you can do yours. Plus, I just relate very heavily to cats in a lot of ways. Hello, how's it going, Coffee? Hello, Goro Akechi. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are nice and cozy. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. You're getting a new drawing application for Christmas. That's cool. Do anime reviews or something. Nice. A good friend of mine does some animations as well. It's currently 1:35 a.m. I just noticed that you were live, so I had to join. Oh, well, we're going to keep it nice and quiet. Hopefully you find my voice relaxing to listen to. Time zones. They are different. Just nearly any time I do a stream, I'm reminded of time zones. Listen to this and play old school MC. You do that. It's 12:37 here and everyone is awake and it's difficult to sleep. Can you say something in French? No, I can't. I can only speak English. The only French words I know are just the very basic ones, like parlez-vous français, which everyone knows. And like, bonjour, bonjour, comment ça va? Oh, it's been such a long time. I can't do it. Just over here brainstorming ASMR script ideas and posting my ASMR subreddits. You go ahead and do that. You give lots of people inspiration and things to write about. I may have to do that pretty soon. I was considering trying to write the script while I was on stream, but, well, as it currently stands, I can't open my writing application. So I'm just doing what I'm doing over here. If I could have a perfect fusion between a cat and a dog, I would. Puppy cat. Especially the part where they use a bathroom outside and somewhere in the forest, but predators, lol. Getting the HP Lovecraft Complete Collection. I got that, actually, for, one of my friends this year. She was a very big fan of Lovecraftian fiction and dark horror, so I got the entire complete works for her. Hello, Ren the Cat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. You have 3RN. 3RN? 3RN. Katsune Maid welcomes you to the cafe. Yeah, I'm not going to do that one at this point, so you might as well ask other people to do it. Let's see. Why did that get held for review? Siren seduces you. There aren't enough Siren audios, man. Sirens are kind of underrated. I mean, I did listen to one by Mother Macabre, which was very, very excellent, though it does end with the listener being drowned and eaten, which is not particularly relaxing, and it's not trying to be. But, like, there's this, that's kind of the point. It's meant to be more as a horror ASMR, and it's got, like, really good singing in it as well. That's genuinely mesmerizing, and it's just it was, like, the creepiest tone, but, like, in a good way, like, artistically. What else do we got? Recently listened to your most recent video, and the twist was so good. Thank you. I'm glad you thought so. I wasn't so sure about adding, because I've always wanted to do an audio where the speaker is a vampire, because I enjoy vampire audios a lot. But, I wanted to do one where the listener was a vampire, or the speaker was a vampire, but it's not actually, like, advertised in the title. And instead it's, like, sort of hinted at. And as a result, it was fun. Like, I've gotten a lot of different comments on the video where some people totally saw it coming. Other people did not see it coming and were genuinely surprised. And there were some people that were like, oh, like, I wasn't really aware at first, but now that I've been listening to the audio a second time, I realize there's a ton of, like, hints all over the place that's, like, really hinting at the fact that he's a vampire. Yeah, those were fun little things to do. What do we got? I I have 2 dogs. They're technically my mom's, but they're up to me. I wouldn't have pets. My brain's too occupied with pets thrown in the mix. Yeah, pets certainly add a lot of things. A lot of things to the mix. They're nice to have sometimes, especially if you're ever feeling lonely and you just need something to cuddle with, assuming they're cuddly pets. And looking after an animal is quite therapeutic, but they can really be a handful sometimes. Dream Boy, a boy who endlessly dreams, shows you his dreams. Okay. Those are 3 scripts you're writing up. They sound very interesting. Definitely very unique. It's not like usual tropes I see. They have their own like little spins on them, which I think is really cool. You definitely use a bit more pioneering in the ASMR script industry. Mermen are so underrated. I wish there was more than the ASMR community. Except Siren Sons ASMR is the exception. More Mermen. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't use Mermen too much just because they're not quite as like popular or romanticized as other things like vampires and werewolves especially. Oh my gosh, I don't know why werewolf ASMR is so popular. Not to diss it, it's like I enjoy a good werewolf ASMR. It's just wow, they are really popular. Like the most common ones I see are like Dere's, like Tsundere is pretty up there. Yandere is very up there. There's also like Shy as well, which isn't a Dere. I'm sure there's a word for it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I see a lot of like werewolf and vampire and demon and all that stuff. I do like making monster audios. They're quite fun to do. I like my fantasy. Legit found you yesterday, Henlo. Henlo back. Curly Cage? Curly Kage? I don't know. I also got to meet the anime VA Justin Briner? I don't know names. Never heard of that person, but they're probably very, very cool. He was very nice. Good for you. I didn't even know there was a con. Was there a con recently? Or maybe you're talking about like from a while ago. I'm not sure. Look at this one. This one's pretty. That's cute. Seeing Cosmic Horror ASMR. Kage, got it. Okay. Adore the Demon Summon videos. Sweet. Occasionally listen to it when I'm stressed. I'm glad you liked that one. Yeah, the with Mitch. Yeah, again, the problem with having a bunch of characters is, oftentimes people want sequels to them, which is understandable, and sometimes they just don't know what to do. Like, I definitely want to do more with Ember and Mitch. It's just, it's very difficult just because I'm not quite sure what to do with the next audio. And, like, that's the storyteller in me. Because when I'm writing a script, I want it to be, like, interesting. I want, like, stuff to happen. But, like, that's not even necessary. It doesn't need to be a plot that's, like, interesting. I could probably just sit there and read a dictionary, and I imagine people would find it entertaining to listen to. I know I would. Not myself. I mean, like, when I listen to other ASMR, my thought process is always, like, I don't even care what we do with this person. We could just sit in bed and, like, discuss cheese for 20 minutes, and I would still find it super, interesting and comforting. Because that's just how it is when you're with somebody you love or somebody you really value. One of these days, what I kind of want to do, if I ever had the patience for it, because I always want to write new characters almost every single week, is have a long-running continuous series. As in, like, take someone like Aaron, for instance, where for an entire month, every audio is Aaron's story, and it's just that. And as a result, you get a lot of depth and development to one character. And especially, it'd be cool to have, like, a relationship blossom over time. Like, maybe 2 or 3 episodes where you're just friends, then eventually it turns into a confession. That's sort of what I'm doing with the visual novel I'm writing right now, but that one is, well, that one's tentative, because, well, you'll see, maybe, hopefully. Definitely the most difficult thing about that particular one right now is the fact that I'm collabing with a bunch of other VAs in order to get that one done. And oh my gosh, finding time to sit down and record has been a nightmare. We're all so busy. Anyway, okay. Azathoth, Dagon, Cthulhu, yeah. Cosmic Horror ASMR, that makes sense. Would love to smooch a merman, then a werewolf, TBH. What would a merman sound like? You know, if I was like merman coffee. For some reason, I imagine merman coffee to be like exhaling quite a bit, and you know, like maybe something like this, simulating something kind of like a sea breeze, and saying like, "Oh, hello, little one. Did you wash ashore?" Or something like that. Welcome to my cave. I've been so very lonely here, you see. I don't get very many visitors anymore. The coves are so dreary. But then you came along. Something like that. Nah, I gotta do more exhaley. Very nice. Let's see, my siren is just like, hello there, how'd you manage to find me? Go away, fruit flies. Oh my goodness. Sorry, they're flying all over my monitor. There was a con where you lived. It was the first con. Everyone was so nice. Dang. I want to visit a con. I'm like legit wondering. I know I'm not like overwhelmingly popular and I don't ever plan to be, but like I have been recognized once in my entire life and it was terrifying. I sometimes wonder if I go to a con if people would recognize me. I don't even know how they recognized me, but they did. And they were really cool about it, thankfully, but that was really scary. Like, geez, if you ever meet somebody and you think it might be me, and so you go like, hey, are you a warm coffee mug? And they have a heart attack and die on the spot, yeah, it was probably me. And I was really scared because you called me out on it. You have a thing for Driders. Ooh, a Drider speaker. That'd actually be pretty interesting. And Nagas. Ah, right. Yeah, I have a phobia of snakes, so I haven't done a, like, Naga or Scylla video. But one time I listened to an ASMR where, like, the speaker was a masseuse, and they, like, squeezed you with their tail. And it was actually surprisingly sweet. It's really cute. One type of ASMR I've found very serious was when a listener wakes up in another world but doesn't know how they got there and made another person from that world. Oh, like an isekai. Cheese audio, that's gold. Oh boy, I am very behind in these comments. Listened to the Vampire Roommate one yesterday. Great stuff. Great. I'm glad you thought it was great stuff. Slow burns? Slow burns. How about Amber meets the parents? That'd be a cool collab. His dad's kind of interesting. I want to know more about them. Oh, fuck, it's been a while. What were their names? I know one was Rod. I remember Rod for some reason. He was a wrestler. Who was the other dad? I don't remember. Yeah, though, in order to do like that, like Ember meeting the parents, that would be a fun idea, actually. I would just need to collab with 2 other male VAs. And I don't know who I'd work with. Because Rod, I imagine him being very tough. You know, at least having a lot of strength in his voice, considering he's a very built dude. He'd have to be. Oh my god, what was the other dad's voice? Does anyone remember? I actually don't remember. Oh no. Put some layered water noises over your voice. Okay. You got to meet Shermy. Oh wow. You got to meet Shermy Lee. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she's definitely one of the VAs I look up to. Writing a book. I want to make into a vision novel. Plan with the first 7 chapters written 3. Good stuff. Good stuff. Very good progress. Yeah, people. Oh boy, the hardest part about writing is, right? Like, it's actually not hard to have an idea and write it out. What's hard is making it good. It's like I could very easily write a script right now that would just suck. Something like, hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, that's pretty good. What about me? I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, bye. And like that's it. And like that, that wouldn't be interesting. So it's like every single time I write something, I want it to be interesting. I want it to be good quality, but also at the same time be comforting. Well, not every time. Not every audio is meant to be comforting, but most of them are. Okay, the creativity is impressive. In what? I don't know. I missed some of it. There's one other script that you're writing. Hypnotist lures you into a trap. Some people are going to find that very interesting, dude. Actually, it's interesting how, like the ASMR world or audio roleplay world is, because there are so many oddly specific niches out there that are really, again, oddly specific, but there's a market for it, no matter what you write, someone's gonna be interested in it. I remember, hold on, I don't know where it is, but I remember just the other day I saw somebody post a ASMR that was really, I don't remember, but it was like being wrapped up in like an eldritch entity's tentacles while it like slowly punishes your left ear but massages your right or something and whispers something like that. I don't know. It was something like, I didn't listen to it, but I was like, that is such an oddly specific title, and it was like 200,000 views. People like being wrapped up by eldritch entities, it seems. Oh, I know what I can write now. Who is Amber? What Siri have I missed? I think they meant to write Ember, which is Lonely Dere Dere Summons You. Oh, speaking of which, I am 90% sure that I messed up Mitch's Dere. Hold on. A character extremely sweet and energetic. Nope, never mind, I got it right. Okay. Then what is a Dandere again? What is the meaning of a Dandere? Characters stay silent and expressing their feelings. I always get the two of them confused. Dandere to me just seems like a more reserved, quiet word than Dere Dere, but I don't know. Let's see. One of my favorite YouTubers uploaded a video of his characters proposing to a listener. Proposal audios are always really cute. Like, you gotta nail them, of course, and generally it's like, I don't like putting the fact that it's a proposal in the title just because I want to surprise a listener. But, a surprise isn't always a good thing, so you gotta make sure it's leading up to it. And there's only ever been 2 audios that have had a proposal, I think, on my channel, which was What's Left of Me, and that one was like over the course of a built-up relationship, so I think that's why that one was hopefully really impactful. And shout out to Artlist for providing music that made it really nice. And Up in the Spotlight with Kennedy, which was implied that there was an established relationship there, and Kennedy was a super confident dude. For a merman, I guess it had to be very low sounding, trying to conserve his breath since breathing and not getting mobbed. That's fair. Confidence is needed. It's definitely, yeah, that's true. I guess a merman probably wouldn't be exhaling all that much because he may not be able to breathe in the regular air. Maybe he can. Who knows? Idea. Which listener cures speaker? Ooh. Can which work for men? Is that a term that could work for men? Maybe. I think it could. Possibly. I'm not sure. But, yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. I have always wanted to, like, play as, like, a playful witch-type character, somebody that kind of practices a sort of, like, magic that may be forbidden or frowned upon, but the person themselves is actually quite nice, not, like, evil in any way. They're just kind of, like, a very playful person, like, mwahaha, I will cure you of your ailments. Oh my gosh, I can totally imagine Mitch dressing up as a witch for Halloween, wearing one of those big hats that's like much too big for him, and robes are like drooping over him, and going like, Ember, teach me magic. That'd be really cute. Let's see. Like I said, I'm kind of terrible on Yonri, but like Sweet Yonri because he was cute. Definitely again, yeah. What I've always said is like love comes in a lot of different flavors and forms. And if the 3 key components are there, which is safe, sane, and consensual, as in, like, everyone is, like, the people in the relationship are clearly in the right state of mind, like, not influenced in any way. They are clearly okay with it. They have given consent, and it is completely safe. No one's being threatened. Then what's the big deal? It's like, not every relationship is for everyone, but that's why, sometimes when I see relationships, then my kind of initial reaction is that's kind of weird. Or that's kind of, new to me. And I always try to remember, it's like, well, if they're happy and they're clearly okay with it, and they clearly all feel safe around another, then you know what? Who am I to judge? My opinion does not matter. What matters is that they're happy. One of my favorites was the pop star boyfriend. Oh yeah, up on the stage with Kenny Lan. I'm glad you liked that one. I wrote a song for that. The music I did not make. That's not my music. I found an artlist.io. It was an instrumental song, but I wrote lyrics for it. That was fun. I would feel so bad if like the person who made that music actually like came across that video and was like, yo, man, I actually did have lyrics for this song. And I'd be like, oh no, really? Did I overwrite your song? Some people who have made the music on Artlist actually have found my videos. And thankfully, like, they're all very cool about it. Because the general idea is, like, I have a license to use their stuff. But I always credit them afterwards. And I want to make it very clear. Even the music is playing right now. Like, it's all from Artlist.io, which I have a license to use, but it was not created by me, and I do not take credit for it. But, they get their links and their credits and some publicity, and, it's a win-win. I get cool music, they get more attention, they also get some money from me. Let's see. One of my favorite thing about your account is they make differences for women or men or for everybody. I try my best to do that. I think the next audio will probably be an M for A, just because this time I'm very swamped, so maybe the next one will just be kept gender neutral, partially because I haven't made a gender neutral one in a while, and that's one of the difficult things, is I myself just prefer to write to audios for either he, him, or she, her, because to my understanding, those are the most common pronouns, so they're just generally the pronouns that will fit, the biggest amount of people. But, every now and again, I do try to make some audios for anyone who prefers they, them. They don't like he or she, so they prefer they, them. That's what the M for A's are for. And also very, very rarely, usually more so in the more spicy audio, sometimes I get like some trans listeners saying like, hey, I really liked this audio, but I kind of wish you hadn't like hinted at the fact that the speaker had, or that the listener had this kind of body type. I'm like, God damn it. Like, unfortunately, it's not possible to please everybody. I do my best, but it's not. So I just do the best that I can. And I'm glad that for the most part, the the M for M and M for Fs have been working for the most part. That they've been enough for the most part, people. There's only ever one audio I ever did where I made 5 versions of it, which was the your friend works at a host club. And oh my gosh, like I was proud of that, but that was a lot. Like trying to include everybody is a metric buttload of work. And yeah, so I would do it if I could, but I am unfortunately only human. I'm sorry. I mean, outcast because you thought the term was easier to say. Warlock didn't vibe or something. That would be kind of fun. They wanted to call me a warlock, but I just didn't jive with that. Oh my gosh. Imagine him being like so out of touch because he's been away from society for so long because of it. Like, I just didn't jive with that slang. I don't even know where I was going to go with that. I was going to say schlang. Then I'm like, what does that even mean? I didn't jive with that schlang, brother. Which can be used for male and female. The term wizard sounds like still super alter. It does. Snug the small beans. The channel fits that bill. After the con, I was broke. Yep, I have been... The most recent con I went to was back in 2016, which was Anime North in Canada. I think that was 2016. And I went with one of my friends, and he like spent like $2,000 on stuff. I bought Nier Automata, and that's it. I wanted to play that game, and I found somebody selling it in a bargain bin, and I was like, oh, I kind of want that, and I bought it, and that was that. The Yandere X Yandere was an interesting take I don't see too often. Yeah, it was a fun little thing to try out, because, like, I'm not really a big fan of Yandere audio, but or at least I'm not a fan of the ones where either it's clearly non-consensual on one side, or I don't know. I have a difficult time romanticizing the idea of falling in love with a serial killer or something like that. But I did find it quite fun to like imagine a very like possessive and very overprotective uh boy in a relationship with another very possessive overprotective boy or girl, and they're both like that around each other consistently, and it's like it creates a dynamic that's like, really strange, but at the same time also alarmingly wholesome in its own way, because they're clearly happy together. And despite how it's like not what you'd usually see in a relationship, it is actually a surprisingly healthy relationship. One of my scripts was used once and that made me happy. That's nice. It is. God, I stopped sharing my own scripts because I'm unfortunately very picky with pronunciation and stuff, and that's my own fault. So when I heard other people performing my stuff, I was like, no, that's not how I intended that line to be. And like, if you're a scriptwriter, you gotta let that go, because it's like people are going to, read your scripts however they want. Everyone's got their own style. I am unfortunately too much of a control freak. That's why I stopped. 2000. Yes, it was 2000. 2000 Canadian, but yeah, still a lot. He found a lot of stuff that he wanted. Too lazy to wipe my mascara. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Oh, you've downloaded some of the music. That's cool. Yeah, it's all from artlist.io. Like I said, it's that's very good music. I think my personal favorite one. What's the name of the artist? I don't remember. But I remember the name of the song. I'm Still Sorry. Great song. I listened to that in my own time. But I forget who the artist was. Oh no. Sarah something? I think? I don't remember. You're amazing. You put so much passion and work in every audio. I'm glad you enjoy. I'm trying so hard. So very hard. Near W. Woo. Whenever I see people just comment W, for some reason this makes me think just woo. Could I just get a woo for doing this? When I go to a con one day, we need confidence and time and also money. Yes. Confidence, time, and money. Very important facets. It's called Ephraim Blind Freeze Cares for Wounded Listener Elden Ring. Hey, an Elden Ring RP. That's cool. Yeah. There are some like worlds or like universes like in like games or animes I'd love to create audios in. Okay. It's, how do I put it? I don't feel comfortable role playing as a pre-established character. Like, because like I made a cyberpunk roleplay one time because I loved the world of cyberpunk. I thought it was so cool, and I thought it'd be very interesting to basically make an OC and make a roleplay about them living in it. It's kind of like on the actual tabletop, but like I would never do a roleplay where I'm like playing as like V or Adam Smasher or something, because it would kind of feel, every time I do that, I'm always like, am I doing the character justice? If the person who made this character could hear me, would they be just absolutely disgusted by what I'm doing, or would they be flattered? I don't know. But yeah, either way, I'm just too self-conscious about it. But I definitely think it's cool to like make your own little stories and worlds that are like really rich for that kind of lore. Because there are some worlds that are great for it. I'm Still Sorry is a lyrical song, yes. But like, because there are some, I wanted to make a script set in the Persona universe, but I legit have no idea what I would do with that. Like, there's no way, not all scripts have to be relaxing scripts, of course, but like, that would probably be a lot of yelling, likely some combat, unless we're like, I don't know, we're sneaking around. And like, yeah, it would just be, very strange. Like, me and Lasamar did My Hero Academia, and that took some getting used to, because I still haven't watched My Hero Academia in years. And as a result, I was pretty behind on the lore. So I don't even know if everything I wrote about the Academy was like up to snuff. And like no one called me out on it, so I think we're okay. And I remember when me and Leigh first started talking, actually, I asked her, I want to do a collab audio set in an anime universe. And I'm thinking either Persona, My Hero Academia, or Demon Slayer. What do you think? And she said My Hero Academia, and that's what we went with. But I've kind of wanted to go back and create like an OC in the Demon Slayer universe and have something there as well. I just don't know what I could possibly do to like, make it relaxing sounding or whatever. Monster Hunter also isn't a bad choice either. I started playing Sunbreak with some friends very recently, and Monster Hunter is a world just ripe with lore, and it would be so cool to add something. Once did a gender Ben Jinx from Arcane and hated so much. Yeah, again, it's like Jinx is a hard character to get right. Like, or just anyone from Arcane or League of Legends in general, because it's like, you gotta write them very faithfully because they're very beloved characters, and if you get it wrong, it can be very, very awkward. Okay, I am starting to lose my voice. I need to get a drink. Okay. New Game Plus Persona Protect realizes you remember what happened last playthrough and is overjoyed. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine that? Like, hey, what's going on? I was your justice confidant in the last playthrough. Yeah, for some reason I actually have all of our memories together. So like, I lost my persona, but I know I'm gonna get it back at some point. Can we pick up where we left off? Just totally breaks the fourth wall. Yeah, it's like, so, like, my general thought process was either that the two main characters have either already awakened their personas, or they may, like, maybe the main character, or, like, the speaker is actually someone who is a persona user, but the listener isn't, and they kind of happen to stumble into the metaverse with them or something. It's like, that kind of sounds more like an audiobook, though, which I could still totally do. I don't know. One of these days, I kind of want to write something that's like... Because I make a lot of comfort and relationship audios, but every and again, I'm like... sort of want to write something that has nothing to do with relationships, instead just a full-on story, which is what I'm doing with the visual novel right now. Which, the plan for the visual novel, by the way, it's still a ways off from being done. So, first of all... don't get your expectations too high up. I am not an artist, and that is going to reflect in the actual novel. I went with a very, very simplified style that I bet a lot of professional artists are going to look at and be like, oh my god, I am going to hurl, and that's fine. Like, I do not claim to be a professional in any way. I do not have any training. I took art in high school, and that is it. Everything else is just self-taught. But that aside, the main attraction is the actual writing, hopefully, and the general idea. We're going to make a pilot and see how it goes, because I don't want to write an entire novel and then, no one watches it. So, like, the general idea, we're going to make a pilot, we're going to see how people listen to it, or how they kind of respond, and if people seem to like it, then I'll continue onwards. The general idea, I know I keep saying that, is that... So the main protagonist is going to end up in a situation where they have to interact, where they're going to be interacting constantly with 6 main characters, one of which will be voiced by me, the other 5 will be voiced by various other VAs, and the first little bit of the story is just dedicated to like meeting them, understanding who they are, and then at one point you get to choose which one of them you want to actually romance. And unfortunately, because I'm not a game developer and I'm on a very limited budget, for all of you aces listening, you may want to skip out on that one, because I wanted to write a platonic route for everybody, but that would probably take like 2 more years to write. So, and yeah, I don't have the time or money right now. Anyway, sorry, I was kind of falling behind and everything. But, Yeah. Demon Slayer would be good. Yeah, maybe. An audio with the Demon Slayer you're seeing the listener being a nice demon. One of those two would be interesting if either the listener was a more kind demon. I was either imagining like the listener may be like a regular human that ended up sort of being wounded by a demon, which caused them to get infected, but they still have their humanity left. And as a result, like the Slayer has to kind of wrestle with the morality of like, I need to expunge all demons, but this one is actually okay, and they might like go into hiding and take care of you or something like that. Or on the flip side, having the speaker be a demon instead, and the listener is a slayer, and same thing, where they're like, they don't actually, they're trying to like, suppress that urge to consume humans. That'd be a nice dynamic. I think, if not, that is kind of ripping off the show in a sense. Well, actually, no, not really, because it's like, it is, a human and a demon, but they're not siblings, of course. I could do that, but that would be ripping off the show. That'd be no subtlety whatsoever. A Nezuko kind of demon. Yes, exactly. Make them a demon that's actually not evil and is incredibly adorable and is not getting mobbed by fruit flies. Oh my god. How many fruit flies are in here, man? Whoever lived in this apartment beforehand, they must have had something in the trash that these guys really wanted. Anyway, creating your own verse is hard when all the cool words are used. Okay. Alright, I will be back with you guys momentarily. I'm starting to lose my voice. I need to get a drink. I will be right back. Ooh, I was thinking some water would be pretty great. So, remember how at the very beginning I mentioned how I heard the sound of a metal bowl clattering to the floor? Yeah, BB knocked her food dish over again. And now there is cat food all over the floor. Again. It is way too late for this. I am going to clean that up some other time. Anyway, listen how hydrated those vocal cords are. So, yeah, I guess I can add that to the list. Like a demon slayer. Okay. What do we think would be cooler? Having a demon speaker or a demon listener? I think demon listener. I kind of want to play as a demon slayer. That'd be pretty cool. Now, on a ring, your patience like a restaurant. You've been horrendously wounded, shall not work and have healed you. Do you have any questions? Okay. Sounds like the Elden Ring dialect. Mentor goes on an epic journey in order to use all powerful wish to rid himself out of fruit flies. I will rid myself of these fruit flies. Like, I would prefer if they would just fly out the window and go somewhere else. Ah. The Demon Slayer opening started. It knows. It knows. So, I hope everyone's winter holidays, if you have them where you live, have been manageable. Where I live, we sort of have and have not been getting a lot of snow because I traveled back to my hometown for the winter holidays, and on the way there was a ton of like freezing rain and snow and lots of other stuff. But also, apparently, we're going to be getting a massive storm very soon. Like, they're calling for like power outages and like freezing rain and lots of other stuff. And it sounds like the main reason I wanted to get some stuff out tonight was I may not be able to tomorrow and for a couple of days. And it also kind of sucks because I was planning on Christmas Eve, I was going to go and have dinner with my mom because I haven't seen her in a very long time. But that might get canceled now because Mother Nature just decided, you know what? Let's show them exactly what winter's capable of. Man, you know, it is what it is. Worst comes to worst, if I don't have any power, I'll use some data, FaceTime her, pull out a sandwich, and be like, we're still going to have supper together. Ah, it's already begun? Ah, so you're already getting it. Jeez. Well, I guess I'm going to be getting it pretty soon, too. That's what she said. Holly's been kind of upsetting. Yeah, it's been... 2022 was quite the year, man. You know, a lot of stuff going on. Had a lot of snow a few days ago, but it's gone now. Yeah, so on the way home, yeah, there was quite a few feet of snow. And like where I was originally living usually gets a fair bit of snow, but not this year. This year we didn't really get that much. But it sounds like weather's gonna be compensating. Anyway, maybe right after this stream I'll see if I can finish writing the Platonic audio and get it all published and uploaded before tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so for the actual, at the end, the past few weeks, so I wasn't uploading anything because I had to work on finals, because we had finals, which was a lot of work, obviously, and then exams themselves, and I'm confident I did well on my exams, but I got a cold right around the time they started, so it was like, could barely talk, I felt constant pressure in my head, my nose was plugged all the time, and I was one of the lead roles in a play we were doing, as well as a bunch of other performances, so I was like, oh no, I have to speak and do a bunch of things, and I can barely move and talk. But I had to do it anyway, so I did the best I could. I tried not to let my classmates down, and I think we got through it just fine. And then there was writing. That was not... Actually, that was even harder than the acting, funnily enough. And the siren owner starts out very scared, but gradually gets more flurries, realizes the hot man escape is looking for a good time. Yep, that's how it usually goes. You start off going like, oh, who is this person? And then by the end, it's like, oh, right, this person's very hot. The only good thing that's happened recently was 10 years since my started to develop with the small victory, but we'll take it. Okay, well, I'm sharing it. Hey, a victory's a victory. Small victory's better than nothing at all. It's definitely exciting when your art style, like, begins to develop. It's very gradual, because, like, you know, like, I'm not a professional artist. I'm only self-taught, and so I can only speak from that experience, but it's very gradual, but you just slowly, as you do it more and more, start to realize little things that you could do to change it. Like, there have been plenty of artworks that I'll, like, look back on that I did a couple of just months ago and be like, ooh, I don't like how that looks now. That's not actually a bad thing, because it's like, when you recognize things you could have done better or little faults, it means you're aware of it and gradually improving from it. And that's how improvement works. That's how it really comes along. Exams are a little hard. Stuck biology and history, and I'm only sophomore. Sophomore? We don't use terms like that. A couple of my American friends I know have mentioned that they have things like senior and sophomore year. I have no idea what that means. We just use grade 9 to 12 and 13 if you take a victory lap. That's just how it is. I realize to make my life so much brighter. I have depression, suffer from anxiety. I realize I've through a lot. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help out. I definitely, battles with anxiety and depression is obviously like, it's a lot. It can really drain you and take a lot out of you, but, it's like, well, I'm glad to help out, but also, what's the right way to put it? I know a lot of people that have to deal with those kinds of things, and the number one thing to always remember is what you're going through does matter, and fuck anyone that says otherwise. I hate the mindset of like, I'm going through a bad time. Well, what I'm going through is worse, so you don't have any right to complain. That is a horrible, toxic, self-centered, terrible, selfish mindset. So if you're ever sitting there thinking, oh, what I'm going through doesn't matter because someone has it worse than me, no. No, if it hurts you, it matters. You are not weak for thinking so. And that is just the truth of it all. Definitely one of the things over here, 14 years old, running ASMR scripts and loving it. Okay. My characters have certainly gotten taller. Ooh, mine have gotten shorter. I gradually have devolved into chibi art. They're little mushrooms now. They used to just be regular sophomores, 10th grade. Ah, okay. College is a pain. How are they gonna start our finals a week early? Got me stressing. Ah, dang. Yours are starting now? Dang. I just got done mine last week, and I'm glad they're done, but, right, I guess different colleges progress at different rates. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna remember that. Why do you have to use... I was gonna say strange words, but they're not strange. They're just unfamiliar to me because I'm not American. I'm gonna assume those are American terms because all my American friends use those terms. Hello, Cal. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, definitely one of the things that was really difficult about finals this year was, we had to work together in big groups, which, group work is, it's got its own slew of problems. But also, we had to memorize 3 different plays because we were doing a Christmas Carol because of course we were. That's a Christmas classic. We were doing a custom play as well that our class had to put on and direct. And we were doing a play called Gallicanus, which, from our understanding, has never been performed before in all of history, because it was not even really intended to be performed. So, as a result, those 3 memorization things, in Christmas Carol, I played a Scrooge's nephew. I forget his name, because he's just labeled as Scrooge's nephew in our script. But yeah, I had to put on a British accent to be like, Merry Christmas, Uncle, and a Happy New Year. And it's funny because my actual professor is very British too, so I felt so bad doing a British accent. I was like, oh no, it's gonna sound so butchered. And there's an actual British person in the room who's going to be like, oh, you're butchering it so much. But she was like, no, you're doing such a great job. Keep doing it. But like, I don't know. Anyway, and then for Gallicanus, I was Emperor Constantine, and that was fun. I got to do... The fun part about that particular role was, even though I had a massive cold at the time and I was coughing like crazy, but I still had to perform. So what I did was I worked that into my performance. Because, like, there's this one moment where one of the characters mentions that they are in love with my daughter, and I had a cough coming on, so I was like, oh, that's well. And everyone thought that was really funny, so moral of the story, work with what you've got. Smile and wave, the show must go on. Anyway, Eclipse Entertainment, hello. Keisho, hello, it's been a little while. Long time to see. Yeah, I was just thinking about you today, actually. Welcome back. Because I was thinking about, like, looking into a couple of, since I have writer's block right now, I was like, I might just do a public script this week. I was like, oh yeah, it's been a while since I did public scripts. I think the last one was Keisho's. And before that, I genuinely don't remember. College is a pain at times. Yeah, it is what it is. Education, you know, like, it's a worthwhile pursuit, but it's a time commitment. It's a lot of work. Writing a story and don't know if I should even make it or not, but other things are it's kind of unique. How do authors do it? Well, yeah, thing is about writing a story is sometimes you just gotta take that plunge. And basically it's like, not everything is about whether or not people will like it. Like, yeah, you want them to, of course. But the main purpose of writing, or even just any art medium in general, is expressing yourself. What it means is, like, you know, that creative side within you, your muse, finding a way to let it out into the world, you know, show it to other people, share what you're capable of, and that's what's really important. And it's like, if you enjoy it, if you want to put this into, like, physical creation, then you totally should. Like, absolutely. You're doing a SpongeBob musical? Wow. Graduate December 16th? Okay. Well, congrats on the graduation. It was probably likely a ton of work, but you managed to do it. You managed to get that far. Slept the whole day away. I kind of wanted to do the same thing, to be honest. This apartment doesn't have any curtains at the moment, though, so whether I like it or not, the sun is shining in my face at 8 o'clock, and it's not going away. Too much anxiety to do something on stage. That's why I'm always on prop duty. Hey, we appreciate prop people, man. We really do. You know? Like, any kind of media, or, like, you know, like a play, for instance, or a movie, people look at the actors and mainly just focus on them, but what people don't realize is behind the actors is set designers, prop designers, like, people behind the actual cameras, choreographers, directors, script writers, editors, whoever owns the space you are currently practicing in, transportation, food, like, lots of stuff. Lighting, music, sound effects. I think I already said costumes and props. I'm pretty sure I did. Set design I already said as well. It's just, you know, there's so much to it. Like, yeah. A show is only, like, as good as, like, the writing behind, the people writing it, the people who built it, the people who acted it. Like, you know, you take something, like, I imagine the play that we did, Gallicanus. If we didn't have any costumes and we didn't have any props, it would have been so lame. It would have been a bunch of people in black pants and black t-shirts just standing around flailing imaginary swords at each other. Everyone would look exactly the same. The costume designers made us look cool. The prop designers gave us stuff to work with. We did not have a set designer, though, so that was a little immersion breaking. But point still stands. It's important. Everybody has a role to play. Yeah, the thing... Stage anxiety doesn't really quite go away. It's like when you're on stage, you still feel scared or nervous. And basically, it's just... The reason why I'm able to manage it is because I'm sort of a stage-high adrenaline junkie, which is to say, the sensation afterwards of having finished a play is what really makes it worth it. But also, the ability to just be able to express myself in a way where people actually want to see me do it and aren't going to judge me for it, that's what makes it worth doing. That's what makes it so incredible. It's same with, like, just a warm coffee mug, this YouTube channel in general. You know, it's like I can post whatever I really want to. Like, I can express my writing and my acting in a way that I feel comfortable. And for the most part, I've got people that are willing to listen to it, and it helps them as well. You know, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And that's what I really value about this particular platform. And, well, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I really wouldn't. There's just nothing quite like it. But it is scary. It is so scary. There have been, oh god, more audios than I can count where I have made them, or even writing them, editing them, uploading, like all that stuff, and the whole time I'm thinking, this is a bad idea. People are going to think this is so weird. And that happens every now and again. I might post something, people might be like, what the fuck? Or there will be lines that people will be like, why did you add that? And my answer is, it's who I am. That's what I wanted to write. That is how I express myself. And if you find it weird, that's fine. It's just, this is who I am. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I'm not going to censor myself. I'll just unapologetically post what I want. And we'll just see how it goes, you know? You gotta take that plunge. It's scary. I have gotten some comments that were genuinely, you know, read them and it's like, wow, that's really harsh or really hurtful. You know, constructive criticism is fine. If someone points out something that doesn't make sense or was maybe not a good idea, it's like, yeah, that's fair. But then you get, like, genuine, like, slander or hate speech, and, ooh, those aren't fun. But, you know, it's that way no matter what you're gonna do. You're going to disappoint people. Like, you're going to disappoint some people. You're going to make some enemies. You're going to get people that don't like what you do. And that is just how life works. So, fuck them, you know? It's like, they're just salty. Just keep going. Like, they can see them be angry all they want, but don't let that stop you from doing what you enjoy. Because I refuse to be lying there on my deathbed, like, let's say 80 years from now, and thinking, man, I could have done what I enjoyed, but one salty bitch prevented me from doing that, essentially. Anyway, I don't know where all of that came from, but that is my spiel for the day. Wow, I have been ignoring a lot of the comments. I'm sorry, I haven't looked at the comment section in quite a while. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Sounds like... Yep, it sounds like everyone's got a lot going on. Oh my goodness. Seeing a crowd of people in front of you is terrifying, but the fact that people are there to watch you with all the others performing such a good feeling. It is. Like, basically, yeah, whenever I'm performing, like, I try not to look at the crowd, because it is that reminder of, wow, there's a ton of people. But sometimes you just get into a trance. It's like when you're on stage, and you're in that moment, and you're living the character, and you see all those people watching you, you just don't care. Sometimes it's like people just sort of melt away. They're not there. They are, you know, they're not a part of, like, just your existence right now. What matters is what you are doing. But anyway, anyone else had an identity crisis with the route sale? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or maybe not an identity crisis. Plenty of moments from, like, I wish it was better. But I think everyone's had that. People going off for the most littlest reasons. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's one thing, being forced to perform in elementary school. Yes, that's another thing. It's like, performing isn't for everybody. You know, there are sensations, or it's like the sensation that there's nothing quite like it, and it is very liberating, but not everyone finds comfort in that. And as a result, it's like, if somebody doesn't enjoy being on stage or doesn't enjoy presenting themselves like that or isn't comfortable with it, you should not make them do it, because it's like, not everyone is going to be at ease with that, and it might really scare people. Like, just overall, not everyone's going to be comfortable with it. Because I can definitely say that while I do enjoy that facet of acting quite a bit, I fully understand whenever people say something like, you know, I don't feel, or whenever people say like, oh god, I could never perform on stage, it's like, that's fair. You know, there's a lot of jobs are jobs, professions are professions. And there are plenty of things that like some people that like I can do that some people find really scary, like performing, but vice versa. There's plenty of things I won't do that a lot of other people are like, dude, it's really not a big deal. I don't travel very much because I'm incredibly paranoid. I'm like, I could never go into a foreign country by myself because I would be terrified. And everyone's like, it's not bad. You'd be totally fine. I'm like, nope, I can't do it. It's all a matter of perspective and experience. That is just how it be. Anyway, overall, I forget where I was going with all of this. I don't know. I wonder if anyone's fallen asleep by this point. I doubt it, but this was meant to be a little sleepy stream. That would be pretty interesting, though. I remember, oh my gosh. So somebody asked one time, and I'm kind of like everyone else's opinion on it as well, actually, is it pretentious? Do you consider it pretentious to, let's say if you're a writer, to read your own content, or if you make a movie, to watch your own movie, or if you're an ASMR artist, to listen to your own content? Because, in my humble opinion, if you're a creator of something, well, you made something. You have a right to enjoy it, you know? You brought it into existence. And as a result, it's like what kind of logic is that? Imagine you spend years upon years laboring over something, and then you finally, oh, hey, here's I'm So Sorry. This is the video, the song I was talking about earlier. But, you finally make it, and then it's like, I can't look at it. I'm not allowed to because that's pretentious. It's like, what? No. Dude, you spent a ton of time on that. Like, people would, if they make something, want to enjoy the fruits of the labor. Some people like to create content. Me, for instance, some of the reason why I make certain audios is because I'm like, why aren't there more audios of this genre? Screw it, I'll do it myself. Because it's like, I'm sitting there like, I want to listen to a vampire couple audio. I don't hear that too often. Screw it, I'll make one myself. I'd say would be pretentious is if you made it and you're constantly advertising it to a bunch of people and shoving it in their face and trying to get them to listen to it and talking about how amazing it is. Like, that's pretentious. But you can be an artist and look at your own work and be like, I did a good job. The reason I bring this up is one of my friends said I was very narcissistic for listening to my own audio one time. I don't listen to my own stuff very often. Like, most of the time when I finish editing it, I've already heard it on repeat a bunch of times, so I'm like, I don't really want to listen to it after that. But sometimes, weirdly enough, I find my own stuff incredibly relaxing every now and again, and I think it's because since I wrote it, I know what's going to happen. And as a result, like, I can relax and kind of let my guard down. Because when I'm listening to other people's audios, I don't know what's going to happen. Because I'm a very paranoid person. So no matter what, I'm usually keeping my guard up. Like, oh man, there's one story I can't tell on stream because it is very not safe for work. But it was a story of an audio I listened to one time that I didn't know was an NSFW audio until I got a fair bit into it. And now it's made me super paranoid because, it's got me in that mindset of, oh, wow, I thought this was going to be really wholesome. And then that happened. And now whenever I'm listening to an audio, I'm like, oh, what if that happens out of nowhere? And I can't quite relax. But that's because I'm paranoid. That's only ever happened once. I've never had it happen again. And definitely, sorry. They'll be totally fine. They can see the movie taken. I feel like it isn't pretentious. I'm here vibing. You'll have to be proud of the things you enjoy and the things you put time and effort into. Exactly. It's fine to enjoy what we make. Okay, so it seems like for the most part, everyone's pretty okay with that sort of thing. Create stuff on your YouTube channel like Fan Made Genshin openings, like rewatching the stuff. Yeah, it's like you made it. You can look back on it and just be like, yeah, I did a pretty good job. I'm proud of this. I mean, I'd be giggling, kicking my feet if I did something like that. I'd be way too happy. Okay. Hey, this is just a question. Are you okay to take a coffee mug? Sure. Yeah. I'm feeling totally okay right now. I managed to get some food today. Made a very delicious meal, and I'm grateful that I have walls that are blocking the wind and a roof over my head. A week ago, it kind of looked like it wasn't going to be like that, but I am. So, I'm very glad. You can trust audios that won't RKO you out of nowhere. Oh my god, that's one way of putting it. I can trust an audio that won't RKO me. Yeah, anyway, so just the other night, what I was saying was like, when I heard one of my, when I was listening, so there are some audios I can't listen to. Like, well, sometimes I'll listen to my own stuff to be like, I don't remember this audio. I wonder how it went. And also, I want to see if I did a good job. I'm nervous too, because sometimes I make mistakes. Like, my Shoujo Academia Part 2, the MF for F version. There's one little line, where I forgot to edit in the female version, so out of nowhere, they go from calling the main character she to he for one scene and then back to she, and oh my gosh, I know like no one really sees it as a big deal, but I can't listen to that audio again, because that one mistake just plagues me. It holds over my head. So whenever I listen to my own stuff, sometimes I'll listen to it because I'll be like, I need to make sure I didn't miss anything in editing. And yeah, some of my older stuff, I definitely can't listen to. Like, I kind of cringe at it, for lack of a better word. But that's not a bad thing, because if you listen to your old stuff, like I said, and kind of recognize what you could have done differently or what you didn't do quite as well, that's a sign that you've grown and that you've gotten better. But, I think it was, Lonely Dairy Dairy Summons You Part 2. That one put me to sleep. And, like, out of nowhere, I was listening to it like, man, maybe if I do another Mitch audio, I need to remember what he sounds like and how he acts like if I rewrite the script. And I got about 3 minutes in. I remember it was, or 4 minutes in, it was around the time. I remember listening, to like, they go out the door and there's some rain, and then the next thing I know, they're in the store. I must have like drifted off, because I do not remember the walk there, and I do not remember like talking about shopping before eventually making their way into the fitting room. It was like, I was just gone. My own audio just RKO'd me. And like, wow, I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh. Did I actually fall asleep listening to my own stuff? Wow. Overall. Oh my gosh. Everyone say yes if you like coffee mug. I do like coffee mugs. They're quite good. Okay, I know what you mean. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's nice to be. Accepting praise feels selfish, but it's. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. I don't want to listen to random FM audios. It has to be something very specific. Can't really with low voices. Bro, I'm sorry. Why, with all due respect, why are you listening to the stream then? Why have you been subjecting yourself to this for so long if this isn't your thing? Dude, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put the people listening to sleep, or just give them something to listen to while they relax or whatever. Use your own spell against you, lol. I only really listen to fantasy over and over, so I know what happens. Fantasy is in, like, the genre, I'm assuming, yeah. Yeah, some other things I kind of like listening to is, like, those ramble audios, where you don't really... They'll just kind of be going on and on about, like, something that's kind of mundane, for instance. Like, something... just mundane things, something you don't really need to listen to. And it's like, hearing that kind of talking about it kind of causes my mind to wander, which sort of leads to sleep. And it's very, very nice. Let's see. Anyhow, keep subbing to some ASMR channels because I think they're SFW autos and they post NSFW stuff, and it's like, damn it. NSFW auto nowhere in audio. It's just not a vibe. Okay. Yeah, I definitely have to give my spiel about that because I've made, my fair share of NSFW audios. And I think one of the most important things about it, for sure, is labeling your content first. Like, you want to make sure that if anyone is listening to it, they know what they're getting themselves into. And you got to make sure that you got to make sure it's labeled. Because, like, I don't mind it personally, in the sense that it's kind of 50-50. There are some audios where they focus more on the love, and that's what I really appreciate, because part of being in a relationship is sometimes getting very intimate or kind of involving, like, closer, like, things. And I kind of consider that to be, like, the term that me and my friends, like ASMR friends, use is wholesome spice, which is to say it's spicy, but it's still incorporating the facets of, like, the listener and the speaker. Still, oh my god, my own voice just jump scared me. What just happened? Whoa. What just happened? Did somebody donate something? Whoa, holy shit. Oh my god, Brocat, thank you. Jeez. Wow, I really appreciate that. Holy shit. Just a little rent, help, happy holidays, no hogs. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. That's very, very nice of you. That was, wow. Dude, my rent money jump scared me. No, thank you, Brocat. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. That definitely makes things easier. Hello, Liveverse. Thank you for joining the stream. Alright, anyway. So, as I was saying, like, I've always tried to make sure that, like, when you focus on that kind of content, you focus on the love. That's what's important. Because if you don't, I think there's a genuine difference between, like, wholesome spice and then, like, smut, for lack of a better word. I don't enjoy listening to audios where it's, like, noises, and that's just all it is. And there's, like, it's like, there's no love behind it. It's just erotic sounds, and that's not enjoyable to listen to. That's just straight up. So whenever people post things like that, it's like, oh, I'm not going to be listening to that. But if there's, like, an ASMR creator that is upfront about the fact that they're like, hey, I'm going to be posting some stuff that's, like, a little spicy, but still focuses more about, like, comfort and love and lots of other things, then it's like, okay, I appreciate that quite a bit. Because that definitely, like, incorporates the important parts of a relationship in a believable, noble way. Someone tell me how to donate? Oh, it's in the description of the actual stream, or at least it should be. It says, would you like to donate to the channel? It helps me continue to make content. And then there's a little link there. And you can choose how much you do or do not want to donate. That's how it works. But only if you can afford to, because, like, obviously, oh my gosh, can't find the option. It's in the description. Oh, like, the description of this stream, of this video. Same with, like, there's a Ko-Fi link as well, and the About Me page, and there's the Patreon, of course, but, like, only if you can afford to. Like, please don't donate just to be nice, because obviously you need money too. We all do. Anyway. So, the other thing I also genuinely try to do with, my more spicy content is keep it separated from YouTube. Like, YouTube is meant to be a safe, like, my stuff's meant to be, like, a safer work channel. There's a few, like, kind of a little more out there, but for the most part, it's meant to be, like, it's meant to be safe for work. The Patreon stuff, it's like, if you want NSFW or spicy stuff, go to Patreon. If you want safe for work stuff, stay on YouTube. I, myself, as an ASMR artist and a writer, am not a completely SFW person. Just the idea that I do kind of enjoy the spicier side of things every now and again, and I'm not ashamed of it. That's just what I value in a relationship. I love, affection, care, mutual trust, communication, value, and occasionally that does lead to, like, some spicier things. And fruit flies crawling all over your screen. Oh my god. Love to donate, but oh, being a full-time student sucks. I can relate. High five, fellow full-time student. Click. Really love your voice. It's so sweet and calming. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Swag. I've been stuck with it for many years of my life. I am glad people find it enjoyable. One day she got the money to donate to the ASMRS. One day. Yeah. Anyhow, I think definitely part of the reason why I think so many ASMRs kind of, bounce back and forth between like making safe for work and not safe for work is because like you can only make the same thing so many times before it kind of gets a little repetitive. But not to diss artists that do like nothing but safe work. There are plenty of artists I listen to that just do wholesome stuff, and that's completely fine. Like, wholesome audios are great. It's absolutely wonderful to listen to those sometimes. Not just sometimes, just like quite a bit. Those are the ones I generally listen to when I'm trying to sleep. It's more so like, the point I'm trying to get across is there is like an actual practicality and logic behind all the art that people create. And, there's an audience for it too. But that being said, definitely number one thing, label your stuff. Make sure people know what they're getting into, because not very many people enjoy going like, oh man, I'd love to listen to this audio where we just have wholesome cuddles, and now I'm having my ears sucked out of nowhere. I did not want to listen to that. I'm no longer relaxed. Now I am frustrated. Some other people might find that relaxing, but they're going to actually look for ear-sucking videos, They don't want to be surprised. That was actually one of the things that when I began my channel, I used to be in a Discord server with a bunch of other ASMRists, and one of the things that somebody suggested to me was, don't make shock ASMR. People like to make shock ASMR, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very tempting to sometimes, where like stuff happens out of nowhere. Like I remember one comparison they made was they made a date where they listened to a date audio one time that was really relaxing, and then it ended with like the listener suddenly being shot by the speaker for shock value. And it's like, yeah, that would be shocking, but that's not... No, people aren't listening to those audios to be shocked. If you label it as a horror ASMR and maybe make it up front that, like, this video will not have a happy ending, viewer discretion is advised, then it's like, don't. Just don't make shock ASMR. Yeah, basically. It was like, I don't know, it's been a while, but like the speaker was a hitman or something, and I never listened to it myself, but that's basically what they described. We're practicing driving on that every day. Drive so stressful. Driving is stressful. I want like, oh my god, I have driving anxiety, so it's so hard to. TBH, I want to watch your NSFW stuff. I don't have the money for it. That's fair. It's okay. It's like, I try to keep it like fairly cheap compared to, a lot of other NSFW ASMRs out there, but I fully understand, like, making a financial commitment every single month, it's a fair bit. There are a few free samples, because I want to make sure if anyone ever wants to donate, they know what they're getting into, and as a result, I do have a few audios on my Patreon that are completely free. If you want to see what that side of a warm coffee mug is like, and if it's not your thing, by all means, stay on the YouTube version. Also, yeah, there was that one time with the Bonnie audio when I fucked up and accidentally uploaded the NSFW version. That's the only one that's on my YouTube channel, because I screwed up and I forgot to trim the YouTube version, or I forgot to trim the Patreon version. So, and I uploaded that, and I started getting comments like, hey, yo, what? And I was looking at the video like, what? Oh my gosh, it is 10 minutes longer than the female version. Oh my gosh, I didn't trim it. I sat there like, should I take it down? Oh, screw it, it's already up there. And so I just re-uploaded the female version, but I was like, this is a one-time only occurrence, and I had to age restrict that video, obviously. Yeah, listener being shot. No shooting listener when they're trying to sleep. Exactly. I'm going to be shot, I want to know beforehand. Exactly. Like, you can wear it on your sleeve. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye, tough being a creator. Take care. Yeah, definitely, like, you know those ASMRs you see that's like, ASMR Goro Majima breaks into your house and beats you to death while singing 24-Hour Cinderella. It's like, no one in their right mind's gonna find that relaxing. But that's the point, you know, they've got it all labeled, so when you walk into that video, you don't get surprised when a guy singing 24-Hour breaks into your window and beats you to death, because that's exactly what it says in the title. And we can all walk away happy. Oh yeah, no, they are funny. I listened to a lot of those for the heck of it. What's the name of the video? I don't know. Dude, this was like 2 years ago. I don't remember. Listen to ASMR once. I started off wholesome at the end. The listener drowns. So yeah, first experience was shock ASMR. Yep, exactly. Like, overall, that's why, you know, I was told don't do shock ASMR. And I was like, got it. The closest thing I can think of on my channel to shock ASMR is my most recent one, when you, spoilers, find out that the speaker was a vampire, well, half vampire, on his mom's side the entire time. But, like, he has no intention of hurting you or threatening you. It's something that just kind of gets brought up, and it's like, wait, I thought you knew. Oh, well, surprise. And then you just go right back to what you were doing earlier, and that's the point. It wasn't really meant to be the big focus. It was more so, like, just a fun little surprise that also, like, on rewatch value, that gives it kind of rewatch value, because if you listen to it again, you'll kind of pick up on all the hints and be like, oh, so that's why he was doing this thing. That was the intention anyway. And also because I like playing vampires. I don't know what it is. I just very much enjoy playing them. Nice ones, though. I have listened to a lot of vampire audios, and I do like most of them, but I don't like the, like, there was a script that was very popular for a while, which was, like, your vampire master, like, buys you or something, and you're, like, basically a slave in their service. And, like, not to diss the writer of that script, you know, it was a good script, it was well written, and a lot of people clearly liked it, because a lot of people performed it. But I wasn't a fan of it, personally, just because it's like, I like feeling like I'm valued in a relationship. I don't like being treated like I'm a worthless slave or whatever. And, like, some people very much enjoy that. Some people enjoy it quite a bit. But for me, I'm like, eh. And same with, like, you know, I don't like those audios where you're basically an object to the vampire. Or they're, like, very, you know, rude to you. In fact, my friend Archie, who advises me on a lot of the scripts I write, he told me something that I never thought of before, which is, imagine if, like, you know, a vampire owned you, or if you were in a relationship with a vampire. They, you'd think, would want to treat you very well. Why? Because you are their food, essentially. Whether they like it or not, they need to drink your blood. And, you know, they want to make sure that you are healthy, because, like, in real life, would you, I don't know, let's say you have a delicious burger that is somehow the healthiest thing in the world for you, and you look at it and you go like, burger, did I say you could talk back to me? And you punch it and it falls on the ground and it gets covered in, like, mud or whatever, and you're like, are you going to cry? And you, like, stomp on it with your heel and go like, you will obey me, burger. And then you finally eat it, and it's like, you're gonna get so sick. Or if nothing else, you tainted a perfectly healthy burger just 'cause you wanted to flex how much more powerful you were. And so, as a result, you know, it's like, I know I just compared a vampire and a listener to a burger, but just basically it's like, you'd want to treat them very well. And that's why I like listening to or performing those audios where, like, mutual consent, that's very important, but also where the vampire is not an ass, you know? Yeah, it's like being a bloodbait do be a kink. Exactly. It's like, look, not to diss people, that there are people that enjoy being objectified. They love it, or they are totally happy being, like, completely submitting themselves to a vampire. And again, it's like, that's why I still, despite the fact I didn't like listen to the script, I still think it's a good script because it was clearly labeled as such. It was like, this person buys you, you are their property, and they're gonna basically treat you like you're beneath them. And it's like, there's a market for that. I'm not a fan of that personally, but a lot of other people are. And that's why I keep saying labeling your stuff is so important. If people know what they're getting into, then what's the harm in it, Safe, sane, consensual. Those are the main things. Anyway, precious, respectful vampire boys. Exactly. I like to write the precious, respectful vampire boys. The sweet ones. They're very cute. I was thinking, trying about dialogue, and holy shit, it's not good. Dude, yeah, visual novel. Had to write a lot of dialogue. So, funny thing is, for the visual novel that I was writing, yeah. Oh no, now everyone everyone in the chat is mourning the burger now. The poor burger that we didn't even meet. That healthy burger that was abused by its master. The poor burger. Rip. F in the chat. Anyway. What was I saying? My train of thought was derailed by a burger being beaten up. Oh, of course. Respect the burger. Let's see. You remember you were like, what, are you a vampire or something? As a joke, and you mentioned he was a vampire. Holy shit, what? Yeah, you're not the only person that was like that. I did get a couple of other people that were like, oh, haha, you're allergic to garlic? Are you a Oh my god. Yeah. Right. My novel, the visual novel. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this particular, it was a very hard balance between trying to decide. I was like, should the protagonist talk? Because, in all my other audios, the protagonist has been silent because I gotta keep the speaker quiet. But then I was thinking for the visual novel, I was like, should the protagonist actually have a voice? Or as in, like, should they have dialogue? And after a little bit of consideration, I decided, you know what? Let's let the speaker be able to talk. So for the first time ever, in a warm coffee mug audio, the speaker can actually talk, has their own voice. But that, of course, came with its own little hurdles. First of all, what I tried to do was, for reasons that will be explained later, the main character is, by default, named Max, because Max is a pretty gender-neutral name. It can be male, female, or anything in between. And, also, it is confirmed that that is not the speaker's... Well, it's an alias, as in, it could be the speaker's real name, or it could not be the speaker's real name. But it's an alias they have to go with. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing was, should the speaker have a voice? This time, an actual voice. I was wondering, should I get a voice actor to actually voice them? And that was really hard, because I thought, maybe some people aren't actually going to watch the visual novel. They're going to play it in the background like, all my other audios. And, I was thinking, like, if I don't give the main protagonist, the MC, a voice, then if they're playing in the background, it's going to sound like a bunch of people talking to themselves. So I asked a couple of my friends who, they all basically said, like, I think you should keep the protagonist silent. That way they kind of work more as a reader insert. And I'm like, yeah, I think that works. So generally the idea was, when I'm writing the main character's dialogue, the general idea is just to make them very relatable and not much else. Because it's like, I want to make sure... Okay, no, not much else is not true at all. But it's like, I want to make sure they're just a relatable protagonist where it's like, well, it may not be exactly how everyone would react in those situations, but at the very least are like, they're the voice of the reader. They'll kind of express what the average Joe would be thinking in that situation, responding as such. but I also try to give them a little bit of charisma and a sense of humor as well, because I think that would make it very interesting. And yeah, writing dialogue between two characters is very, very difficult, of course. I was wondering if you could make more period comfort audios. I was thinking about that. It's on my bucket list because I kind of think if I made another one, I'd be sort of retreading what I've done in the last two audios I've written for period comfort. But you know what? I think that's fine. Change up some things because it's like, there are a couple of things that I think I actually kind of like. In the very first one I wrote, there were a few things I kind of screwed up. For instance, I talked about giving the listener something cold to drink, and I got a few people saying, "Ooh, no, you don't do that." And I was like, "Yep, I am. I am a male. I unfortunately do not understand the struggle." So, I can try though. I'm glad. I'm glad for the most part people found it very comforting. Because the whole time I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I hope I'm doing an okay job. Wait, when did you start streaming? I just got here. Oh, hello, Lay. Yeah, I started streaming quite a while ago. But, it is what it is. This is my way to cope with writer's block. Did the music end? Oh, no, it's just... I just can't hear it. Whoops. Well, anyway. Really, that's so cool. 103 minutes ago. Lol, Dang, and Rampa, for example, Makoto didn't speak a lot. Yeah, exactly. Like, he spoke in trials, but that's pretty much it. One tip right off the bat is to make sure dialogue sounds natural. Always keep in mind the type of personalities your characters would have and how they speak and what they'd say. Yes, keeping character dialogue consistent, like consistent with their personality, making sure anything they say, you kind of understand why they did it or, like their motivations and stuff. Hello, it is I once again. How is everyone? Oh, hello, Pillows and Delivery. Great, how about you? Okay, thanks for the tips. Okay, I missed a couple things, seems. There are so many games where the main protagonist hardly talks, like Persona 5, Legends of Zelda, Fire Emblem. Yeah, it can totally work. Like I said, so, I was thinking for the protagonist, if they were voiced, to just give them, like, a very gender-neutral voice that doesn't sound quite male or female, so it can kind of fit, like, to anyone really listening. But, like I said, the majority of people are telling me, no, I think it would be better if you kept the main character silent. So, if I finish making it, if you have it playing in the background, that's fine, but you may miss out on a couple of things. I don't want to overhype it. It's honestly just a small passion project that is going to very clearly be low budget. So the only thing I can really do to salvage it is its writing, because the art style is certainly not going to be doing it any favors, but I am confident in the voice acting because the people that I'm working with to help voice this, they're very wonderful to work with, and I have enjoyed what we've done so far, and they've already put so much like passion into it. And I don't know, part of me is like, I don't know why I'm keeping their identities a secret. It's not like it's a big surprise, but then the other part of me is like, kind of want to, just have that big grand reveal, just for it. Listener gets appeared in the mall where you're both out and you both go home and comfort them. Just an idea. Oh, like having it happen in public? Okay. Yeah, maybe. Again, I'm unfortunately... obviously I haven't had that happen yet, so I don't quite, again, understand the struggle, but... it's just... My main focus when I try to make audios is to make them authentic, but also it's like... Well, authentic, but also like respectable in a way, if that makes any sense. I want to make sure whatever I'm writing is cohesive and makes sense. There's this term that I've heard before, known as mansplaining, which is when where sometimes you meet. It's not limited
So it's not limited to guys. I'm just using it as an example. But like when you'll meet like a dude, for instance, who talks about something as if he knows exactly what he's talking about, even though he clearly doesn't, and he's like objectively correct and nothing will change his mind. And I'm like, oh my god, I really don't ever want to fall into that pitfall trap in real life. Because imagine if I wrote an audio where I'm like, here's what you need to do to help yourself, and everyone's like, bro, no, that's terrible advice. That'd be so bad. Y'all was just hardcore dancing to Stray Kids. Ooh, we got a hardcore dancer. Impressive. Oh, speaking of which, I actually found out. Yeah, exactly. Animal Crossing so addicting. um, so basically, one of the things that I note. Okay, so a little while ago, during sorry, somebody mentioning the hardcore dancing, during my final exams, we all needed to get warmed up for our final performance, and everyone was kind of like very cagey and still like a little tense. So one of my classmates was basically like, all right, everybody, we need to warm up. So they started playing some dance music and everyone started dancing around the classroom, and somebody told me to just drop a sick move. So there's this one dance move where you like put your hands on the ground and then like you spin your legs around, keeping your hands situated on the floor, but spin your legs around you in a 360-degree angle over and over again. I didn't know I could do that. Turns out I can do that. It was very Yakuza Zero Breaker style inspired, but I just dropped to the floor and started doing it, and I was like, whoa, holy shit. I slammed my knee into my elbow, which hurt like crazy, but other than that, yeah, it turns out cool music and peer pressure allows you to learn things about yourself you don't even know. Your favorite game of Skyward Sword HD? Nice. Twilight Princess was my favorite game for the longest time, but I quite enjoy Skyward Sword. People say that's the controversial one, but OG Skyward Sword on the Wii with the Wii Motion Plus, that was my jam. My choir in middle school cut the music, started dancing really emotionally. Another choir person, hell yeah. So cool. Interesting, wow, nice to feel it. I have the constant dance practice in my room every day to K-pop, honestly. Okay. Every time you read my message, I literally just get so happy. Well, I'm glad I have that effect on you. It's nice to be... Freaking fruit flies! I'm sorry, these fruit flies are really annoying me. I'm glad I have that effect on people. It's nice to make them happy. Choir's pretty snazzy. Yee. Death drops are fun, but they can hurt. Is that what they're called? As long as you're just going to say you just death dropped. I didn't death drop. I don't even know what that is. I mean, maybe I did completely on accident. Oh. Here, hold on. It actually gives me an idea. It has nothing to do with death drops, don't worry. Give me 1 second, because I brought BB in here earlier. Hey. Okay. Whoa, careful. Okay, so earlier we brought in BB, the kitten that I'm babysitting, and now we have Yonaka. Yonaka, hey, you want to say hi to the chat? I don't know if you guys can hear her. She's currently sitting in my lap. I'm giving her some pets right now. Let's see. What did I miss? Hilarious dance move. Choir's pretty snazzy. Death drops when you fall back, basically. Okay. Used to play viola last year. Oh, that's cool. Do traditional folk dance. Requires a lot of stamina. The whole point of the dance is to smile through the suffering of exhaustion. Oh my goodness. You just bit your jaw? Oh, no. How, though? That requires actual skill. Also, what are your pronouns? Who was that addressed to? Because I imagine there are a lot of people of different pronouns in here. Let's see. Hello, maybe don't talk too much in your videos. I just want to say your videos really make me happy and relax, so thanks for existing. Oh, you're welcome. Sorry. Shadow Gaton Castillo? Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading that, but I'm glad you enjoy. I'm glad to help out. Sorry, Yonaka just reared her head up and is now demanding little scritches on the head. Yeah, she's got a little bell collar on. You know, so she like clatters around a lot. Here, hold on. Let's get her really close to the mic. Can you guys hear her purring? Yonaka. Hello. Yeah, can you guys hear her? Oh, sorry, was that uncomfortable? Kind of wish I could show you guys what this looks like, but I'm not quite ready for a face reveal yet, and I don't know if I ever will be. Screams in transmail. We hear the cat. Oh, nice. Yes. He, they. Okay. Kitty. Also screams in transmail. Yeah, I imagine we've got quite a few transmasks in here. Okay. Also, what are your pronouns? Yeah, so cute. Not gonna want to get about chickadee. Stop. Cat's mom chewing my guitar amp cable. Yeah, I didn't want to let Baby in here because she was like really chewing on she was chewing on a lot of my computer wires, and as a result I was like, ooh, I don't want her in here. He, him, sis. Yep, same. Was born a dude and have always identified as a dude, and that is just how it is. He, him, depending on the day. He, her. Okay. You get to fluctuate. That's pretty cool. The struggle. That's fine. You don't want to share face. You don't want to. So much gender. Ah, yes. So much. He, him, sis. Hello. By gender, you are both. Oh, okay. Alright, Yonaka looks so comfy right now. Yeah, okay, so the funny thing is, it's like, I used to actually have another YouTube channel that I long since purged, but my face was on it quite frequently, and it's not that I'm afraid to show my face exactly. It's like Hershey chocolates. That caught me off guard. Good one. It's not that I'm necessarily afraid to show my face exactly, because I'm not like camera shy. It's more so, you know, on a platform where you create a lot of like comfort audios, there are some people that are going to actively search for you in a way that's kind of creepy. And as a result, I kind of don't want people knowing what I look like in that regard. It's kind of for my own privacy and safety. That's just how it is. Yeah. Old channel, even though I can't since I lost the email for it. Well, you can report the fuck out of it until maybe it gets purged or something. I don't know. Amazing, spectacular. Saw what happened to Dream. I didn't follow that drama. I don't normally do that. That creeps are the worst. Yeah. That's definitely... Was considering talking a bit about like the real struggles of being a content creator, because I'm not like an overwhelmingly popular one, but I've gotten to the point where you know, started to encounter some of the basic parts of like what that can lead to, and some of it's pretty scary. I know channel we did Vi reactions. Sorry, Yonaka's looking at me because she likes when I talk to her, and she probably doesn't realize I'm on a stream, so she thinks I'm talking to her this whole time. So she's just looking at me. TBH, I don't know my sexuality, so I'm just unable to. I don't think I'll ever get a label because it just doesn't feel right. It's annoying to have to explain it. You do not need to have a label, man, you know? If you find labels annoying, or you don't want a label, you do not need to have one. And yeah, sexualities are a hard thing to figure out. You can go most of your life thinking that you are one thing or one label or one sexuality, only to have someone blunder into your life and be like, oh shit, that changes things. Well, so I've heard. I've known what mine was since birth, but I've heard plenty of stories, not just from my friends, but even just from a lot of you coffee mugs as well. So I've pretty much overshared everything on Animo. I haven't spread kidnapped yet. Yeah, be very careful what you overshare. Like, there's nothing wrong with venting, but I've gotten, like, a lot of comments of people, like, delving really uncomfortably deep into their personal life and talking about, like, all the things that have happened to them. And it's just, like, you just gotta keep in mind that you're saying that to a bunch of strangers on a video website. And while this person may make comfort content, they're not a certified person that's, like, able to, you know, deal with it. Because, like, I do sort of understand people thinking, like, it's a safe space, I can talk about it. But what's really unreasonable is I've had some people, like, you know, like, trauma dump onto me and then kind of expect me to help them out or talk to them. And, like, I'm sorry to break it to you, dude, but I'm just a 20-something that writes scripts and voice acts. I don't know anything about preserving mental health. I am not the person to talk to. And that is just how it is. Hello, Yunak. Are you comfy? She's loafing right now. She is loafing on my lap. Got comments like that too, and I'm like, I'm not the one to go share that information with, man. Exactly. Definitely the ones that also are really not okay is when people, like, trauma dump or, like, trauma compete to get attention, because sorry, fruit fly just flew in my mouth. That is very disgusting, and Yonaka wants out. Goodbye, Yonaka. That's a happy cat. Alright, anyway. Some content creators make content deal with their own trauma. Yeah, exactly. That's why I started a warm coffee mug. I was incredibly lonely, needed a way to deal with that. And now, I think part of the reason why I have writer's block is because I've found ways to just sort of deal with it. So, or to not deal with it, but, like, to live with it and work around it. And as a result, it's like, maybe the fact I don't know what to write about is maybe not the worst thing. Oh yeah, she's a very adorable cat. She's not mine, I'm just looking after her, but she's very cute. Very sweet, too. She doesn't mind being picked up. Same with BB as well. Love cats, don't own one. Hey, I love cats too. So having a lot of events talk? Okay. Why do people trauma dump on strangers and activate when no one wants help or how to help? It's just how it is. The way they see it, you know, oftentimes they'll trauma dump onto people because they see it as a safe space and they see the people in front of them as people that are willing to help, and that's why they do it. I think this is all purely, like, from what I've talked about with other people and from my understanding, but I'm not a psychologist, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But it seems like they see the space as something that's, you know, a safe area with people that seem to care, so they'll talk about it, and then, you know, when people basically respond by, like, don't do that here, people get all frustrated, like, I thought I could trust you. And, well, it's unreasonable to think that way, though, because they are not obligated to help you. It is not their job to. They have no obligation or responsibility to. They don't even know you. Like, there's nothing wrong with venting, but don't, like, dump all your problems and, like, life's woes onto someone you don't even know and then get angry when they don't help out, because, like, they don't need to. And I think romanticizing the idea of selflessness is kind of dangerous. Anyway. Yes, the phrase "people have it worse," that is a terrible mindset to have. You know, like, you can't complain because other people have it worse. Well, with that logic, there's only ever one person in the entire universe that has the right to complain, and nobody else can. Oh, Beneath the Mask started playing. I love that song. I don't talk about trauma because I'm afraid of oversharing, so I normally overshare without realizing it. I think you meet somebody that says to you, like, you know, go ahead, talk to me, or like, let it out, I'm here to listen, then go ahead. Like, consent, it goes both ways too, because believe it or not, being on the receiving end is quite stressful too. Hearing someone else's life miseries and woes can actually be quite jarring and quite scary. So it's like, throwing that onto somebody can be very scary. And so, you know, but if someone's willing to meet you there and listen, then I think it's safe to. And also, I can only speak for myself, and it wildly depends on who you approach, where you go, and where you live. I did end up getting professional help one year, and it helped me greatly. It was so scary opening up. I cried when I applied because I was so scared to talk about all the stuff, and I thought it was, you know, so selfish. And then, what do you know? I learned the actual things that made me feel a lot better about myself and about life in general. But it was scary. But it really depends on where you are, because I've heard a bunch of other stories of people that tried to go for therapy and it just made everything way worse. You know, it's like, I was lucky. It really depends. Coffee breaks do tend to get pretty deep, yeah. Yeah, trauma competition is definitely, it's like, you know, if there's one thing I've learned on my time here, you know, on this planet is, you know, we're all going through a personal hell of some kind. That's not to say that what you're going through doesn't matter. What it means is that, like, everyone has their fair share of troubles, everyone has their fair share of strife, and no one person's struggle is more important than the other. Like, check your privileges, of course, you know, it's like, if you're complaining because you only have an iPhone 3 trillion when you could have had an iPhone 4 trillion, it's like, well, maybe try to be grateful for the fact that you do have something really great, and it's not all that important. Like, having an enhanced iPhone isn't the end, like, not having one isn't the end of the world. Like, know your privileges, of course, and know your limits, because there's a difference between venting and whining. But that being said, it's like, you know, everyone is going through something, and everyone's struggles do matter. No matter how small or big it is, if it's hurting you, it matters, and you have a right to feel hurt by it. And the problem is not everyone is understanding of that. You know, I've met a lot of people that have been conditioned to think that they don't matter because the people they grow up with keep telling them that. Especially, like, authority figures. Authority figures aren't always right. Oh my. I was literally about to start talking about my own personal life and was like, nope, that's exactly what I said you shouldn't do. Open up to a bunch of strangers. I don't expect help in return. It's just more so a venting method. It's stuff I'm comfortable talking about. You know, it's a part of my life. It is what it is. It heavily depends on the therapist. Yes, the therapist I had was a very wonderful person. You know, one who doesn't understand self-diagnosis. Yeah, self-diagnosis is quite scary. People can, in the sense that it's like, people can really mess up. Or, you know, they might just get, like, one little piece of evidence, like, I have a slightly hard time paying attention. I definitely have ADHD. Like, people can abuse that. What a Christmas holiday, everyone, huh? Yeah, that's fair. Not everyone enjoys talking about themselves. I'm not only an actor, but I'm also a narcissist, so I can talk about myself for hours on it. But I definitely get, you know, like, it's hard for me to relate to, but I do understand when people, like, say, like, I have a hard time opening up about my own stuff, because, yeah, it's going to snow. Oh, it's going to show. It's going to... Yeah, it's going to snow. Yeah, I imagine it is. I don't know when that storm's getting here, but I'm kind of scared for its arrival, but I imagine it's going to show up very soon. Ow. Sorry, I have a bunch of cuts all over my leg because BB and BB and Yonaka sometimes are trying to like climb up my legs, because they're cats and they still have their claws, and so ow, I keep like the cuts are a little itchy, so sometimes I go to scratch them, they'll be like ow. Anyway, Blushy, hey, welcome to the stream. Oh my gosh. I love your profile picture. It's so cute. Laughs in Canadian. The streets are flooded with snowman. Oh my gosh, fellow Canadian. Yep, those are the cat love scratches. Yeah, we don't have any snow where I currently am right now, and I'm sad. Like on the entire disinfect that shit. It's okay. They're not fresh wounds. Oh, dude, you live in Ohio? Dude, I have a few friends that live in Ohio as well. Oh no, the banner, it's over. We're going to go right back to the beginning. I have a few friends that live in Ohio as well. One of the biggest running jokes I hear about Ohio, they call it the state of bipolar weather because it changes so goddamn quickly. If you don't like the weather in Ohio, just wait 5 minutes because it will change. So I've heard. Never seen snow. Is it cool? Well, yeah, in a way. It's like snowfall can be absolutely mesmerizing. Look at the screen right now. See all those like little particles floating about? That's sort of how a snowfall will kind of look. You'll see a bunch of like white specks, especially at night, just falling down in a big cascade, and then they gradually like, pile up. And snow can be annoying. Like it's hard to wade through. It can be very cold and it melts. But at the same time, it's very pretty. Like everything gets like this white sheen. And it's so peaceful because it kind of works as a noise dampener as well. So when you step outside in the snow, it's so quiet and it's so cool. And ever since I was a kid, like I always loved when it's snowing at night, just looking out the window and watching it fall. It's so mesmerizing. It's very chill. Yeah. You live in Ohio too. Get me out of California, please. Yeah, I've heard California is quite hot. I have a friend that lives in California as well. And snow is not particularly common over there. Once got hit by a snowball, but I swear on my life it wasn't a snowball, it was a block of ice. Yep, if you live in a place like Canada or anywhere else that gets snow, you have not lived there until you've been pelted by a chunk of ice that someone who threw it at you called a snowball. Or it was a chunk of ice and they knew what they were doing. Oh my gosh, these fruit flies. I'm going to catch them one day. Landing in someone's hair and just looking at them, chef's kiss. Oh yeah, snow speckles in someone's hair is very, very pretty. Very attractive. Praying to God the hill doesn't light itself on fire again. Okay. California's already. Good night, coffee. Good night, everyone. Oh, you're going to sleep? Okay. Good night. See you later, Goro. Thanks for subscribing to me. I wish I could see it, but California says no. So I have heard. Oh yeah, tobogganing. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing. Tobogganing, snowboarding. Snow is pretty slippery when it gets smooth, because it's like, it's this weird blend between soft, but not incredibly soft. Because like, I'm gonna dispute one claim right now. Whatever. If you fall out of a tree and you land in snow, it will not cushion your fall. That is a myth. Anyone who tells you otherwise is wrong. Because snow kind of cushions down to a certain degree, but once it kind of compacts together enough, it will harden and stop cushioning. So imagine like a couch cushion that deflates about half a foot and then hits like a marble floor. It doesn't work. But anyway, so it gets all packed together and gets very slippery. And, well, okay, how do I put it? It's soft, yes. It's like a bunch of tiny little flakes packed together, and as a result, it is soft to, like, push your hands on. It's soft. It's not soft to the point where it will cushion your fall from massive impacts or whatever. So, like, yeah, like, you can, like, lay your back on snow and make, like, snow angels. That's a thing. It's like, it's cozy. But anyhow... But yeah, so when it compacts all together and gets like very slippery, and then you can put on like snowshoes or To me, I like snowboarding personally. Or get on a toboggan, and yeah, if you're on a hill and you put it on the snow and then just move forward a bit, since it's so slick, you'll go sliding down it. And yeah, it's so cool. Dang, Frozen lied to me. Yeah, I remember when I watched that scene for the first time, I was like, they should be dead. Like, bare minimum, if the snow actually was soft enough, because it is possible to have, like, very loose snow where if you land in it, you'll kind of keep sinking. But then you have the problem where it's kind of like quicksand that, well, it doesn't squish back together. You kind of just right through it, and then you're, like, 20 feet in snow, and you can't really climb out. So, yeah, overall, that was kind of more movie magic. And, you know, that's fine. It is what it is. But anyhow... It's 2:35 a.m. in the UK. It is 9:30 over here, 12:30 in Australia. Jeez. Every single time I do a coffee break, we end up talking about time zones at some point, but I always realize, wow, there's so many people from all over the world. We got Australia, we got the UK, we got California. Been to Canada, do not recommend it. I don't know, I like Canada. I've been living here for my whole life. It's alright. Although I guess it does depend on what part of Canada you go to. 6 p.m. in Cali, get me out. It's 6 p.m. in California? Yeah, I guess it would be around the 6:30 time right now. Jasper's so pretty, come on. Oh, you gotta go? Okay. See you later, pillows and delivery. Goodbye. Sink. 6 p.m. Cali. It hasn't snowed much here, which is a shame. Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of snow here either. I know I've been talking a lot about it, but we haven't... Like, on the way home, I ran into a bunch of places that had gotten quite a bit of snow, but here, it's that depressing blend between, like, a tiny bit of snow where it's mostly slush, but still, like, gray clouds and cold weather. And it's just, winter depression, man. It's very, very real. Anyway... So, to everyone who was not here when I mentioned it, the reason... Yeah, slush, basically. Snow that's, like, partially melted. It's, like, all liquidy and all watery, but it's not completely gone, so it's, like, a grayish color. It's not fun. But anyway, the reason I was doing this stream was because I've encountered a very hefty bout of writer's block for the time being. You know, I got a couple of scripts that I am trying to write, but I've been sitting down on my computer all day, like on and off, and writing like a few things, but I don't know, it's just not coming to me right now, and I think I'm still kind of tired from exams, so I was like, screw it, let's do a stream where I don't have to script anything. We'll just talk, just see how that goes. I want to go to Canada, but everyone in my family wants to go to Europe or Asia. I mean, they're cool places too, but I want to go to Canada. I mean, Europe's pretty cool, but, you know, you go where you go. You guys are lucky. It literally does not snow at all. Yeah, it's really a blessing in disguise, you know? Winter is the only time where snow shows up, and while it's really, like, it's really pretty. And while it's, like, you know, on the one hand, I feel your pain, coffee. Hey, you know the struggle of writing ASMR scripts. But yeah, while snow can be incredibly, you know, pretty... it's also a bit of a hassle. Like, shoveling it is hard. It's, you know, snow's heavy. That's another thing. Snow is heavy. If you pick it up in a shovel, it will actually, like, you know, drain you quite substantially. Snow is pretty hefty. But it's also really pretty, and there's just nothing quite like it since it only shows up in the wintertime. Anyway, who is making a gingerbread house? Oh, I didn't buy one! Oh, no! And there's going to be a massive storm tomorrow, so I won't be able to. No. Anyway. Yeah, so the big issue right now is it's not ideas I'm having a hard time coming up with. I have plenty of ideas. My problem is that, like, I have some stuff I want to write. Like, I have a platonic audio in the works right now. And so I sit down and I'm like, okay, I want this to be an audio where two best friends reunite after a long period of time. I type the opening, then I'm like, now what? What do we talk about? What do we say? What do we have happen? Oh, no. And then, yeah, just, you know. Didn't buy one either. Well, I haven't written one in like 7 months. I'm making one in the span of 2 days. Oh boy, good luck with that. Yeah, I think anyone who's... Yeah, there's going to be a huge storm all the way over here. It's like stretching pretty damn far. Definitely, I think anyone who's been on this channel for a while has probably noticed is I don't really make seasonal ASMR. Like, you know, during Halloween, I don't make Halloween audios, and during December, I don't make Christmas audios. And that's not because I'm against the holidays or anything. Quite the opposite. You know, they're great. But for me, I'm like, you know, everyone's making those audios. I just make what I feel like. You know, it's like, if I'm in the mood to make a vampire audio in December, I'm going to make a vampire audio in December. That's just how it be. Gonna shower BRB if you're still streaming. I may end the stream fairly soon because not only does my throat sort of hurt like normal, but for Christmas, one of my best friends bought me Skyrim for PC. And I'm very eager to play it and finished downloading about half an hour ago, so I'm very excited to try that out. I think, I don't know, I might play a Khajiit because I like cats. But there's so many Khajiits. Coffee, I feel you. What do you feel me on? There's a lot of things to feel me on. I used to make seasonal ones, but I missed Halloween, so I feel bad I've missed Christmas. Fair enough. Did start streaming 2 hours ago. Yeah, but I'm a theater kid. I can talk for a while. Welcome to Skyrim. Thank you, Exalted Space. I'm finally awake. I love Hello Kitty so much. Okay. Did we mention Hello Kitty? Whatever. Just wondering if I missed something. Yeah. So overall, it's like everything, honestly. Okay. Yeah, so currently I have 2 scripts that I do already have written. Oh yeah, I started 2 hours ago. Theater kids and their abilities to ramble on almost anything for as long as needed. Oh yeah. Give me something to ramble about. I'll ramble about it. Maybe. You know, depends. If it's something I don't want to ramble about, I won't ramble about it. Suggestions now. But in the meantime, I have 2 scripts already prepared, you know, like in a backup emergency. But like I said, even though I just said I'll post whatever I want, one of them is like apocalypse themed and one of them is like a Magic Academy theme. I don't know if either of those would work so well considering it's so close to Christmas. What day is today? Thursday the 22nd. It's going to be the 23rd tomorrow. Okay. Favorite color? Green. My favorite color is green. Now the thing is, as I've gotten older, it's kind of slowly gone down there. I still like the color green. However, I've started to appreciate the color black as well. I consider it a color, okay? It's a photonic wavelength. I consider it a color. If you think it's a shade, that's fine, but I consider it a color. And that's because as I got older, I gradually became more and more emo, and I like darker colors now, and that's just what I'm comfortable with. I also quite like the color red as well, though it is the color of anger, which is problematic, because sometimes I'll put on a red shirt and then I'll feel like I want to punch everything in the face. But then other times I'm just going to be like, yeah, this is a vibrant color and I like it. Boxes. Lots of things you can do with boxes. See, boxes can hold everything you ever know and love, and they come in a ton of shapes and sizes. I used to work in a warehouse, and let me tell you, if you are scared of cardboard boxes, never work in a Canadian Tire warehouse. It's like I would be given tall boxes, small boxes, wide boxes, long boxes, short boxes, very wide boxes, heavy boxes. They can be durable or they can be so dang thin. You can step on a box and it'll explode. And then other times you can take a knife and stab the box and the knife breaks. Like boxes, they're just all over the place. Man, it's a total art form. They're also so useful. One of my favorite things, actually, is when you take a regular size semi-wide box and you put it down and your cat jumps into it almost immediately, and it's so cute. I never get tired of seeing cats just curl up inside of boxes. Alright, what else do we got? A game about a writer. What's your upload schedule? Well, generally I try to upload an audio once every week. When college began, that became a lot harder because turns out writing an audio, voice acting in audio, editing it, uploading it on both Patreon and YouTube is a lot of work to also balance out with your school life as well. And not only that, I have to keep up a separate upload schedule on Patreon as well, because the patrons are paying for some more spicier content, and I can't post that on YouTube. So sometimes, I'll write an audio in a week, and then I'll write something for Patreon, and I'll upload it, and I'll be sitting here like, the people on YouTube will probably think I'm slacking this week because I didn't upload anything. Now I gotta upload something else. So little do you guys know, I've written like 5 audios in 1 week. And yeah, people keep telling me I can slow down and it's okay. But I don't know. Every time I miss a week, I just feel so bad. I don't know what it is. I just do. Rambling suggestion earlier about cheese. Cheese, lots of cheese. There's like Swiss cheese, there's nacho cheese, there's just so much cheese. But my personal favorite cheese, is marble. It's like that orange cheese and white cheese. Great combination. I love having it on my burgers and on my nachos, and shredded's pretty good, grated's pretty good. Just whole is also pretty great as well. My cats are never in a box. It's more like inside a bed box springs. Oh my gosh. Yes, oh my gosh. Moreo's too big now, but when he was a kitten, sometimes I'd like sit down in my bed and I just hear like mew from inside the bed. I'm like, Moreo, are you in the bed? And I'd like look down and he'd just kind of be sitting there in loaf position. Yeah. Don't even get me started on curtains. The Patreon ban was bound and I was sub to you. December was whack. Your Patreon was banned? Jeez. Wow. Coffee mug is orc. Okay, the way you spelled it makes me think of like the orcs from like Warhammer. I don't claim to be a Hume or anything along those lines, but I am very much coffee mug. I love my mugs, love them very, very much, and I must say that this whole experience with the coffee mugging has been quite a thing. Anyway, we're gonna go back to rambling about more things now. I don't have very much experience voicing orcs, but I'd love to be able to like nail the orc accents. That would be great. What's your favorite ice cream? Oh boy. Let me think about my favorite ice cream. I don't know. There's a lot to choose from. Cookies and cream. Actually, no, Moose Tracks. Moose Tracks is great. I love it so much. Oh my god, fruit flies. My least favorite ice cream is fruit flies flying in my freaking monitor. Oh my gosh. Wow. Woke up and it was just banned. Well, okay then. Mew. Moonlight Haven. Mew. Yeah, I tried to do I don't know if I can do it. I used to be able to, but, before my voice cracked, I could do like a mew. No, I can't do it. God, that was terrible.
No, but I can do it like this. No.
Last guy was so obsessed with bed box springs until they gave birth to my mom's bed. A Strange Tuesday. Strange Tuesday. That does sound like a Strange Tuesday. Wow. Noah or Rocky Road. Mew. Fly traps are fun. Chocolate only in shake form. Full of activity, but you didn't do anything. Maybe somebody that was salty reported you because they could. Dang, that's still... Purple. Boxes. Upload schedule. Rambling suggestion. Cheese. Okay, I think we've reached all of the red and black total edgelord combo. Hey, guilty as charged. That's what I made Aaron's color scheme, actually, like, confession, actually, Aaron is like my ideal emo. Like, if I could look however I wanted to, I'd probably look like Aaron, to be perfectly honest, except I'd keep my brown eyes. I like my brown eyes. Let's see. Train my voice to go higher, still being able to nail accents. Yes. It's like, I want to be able to do accents, but, okay, so the thing is, recently I've wanted to try branching out into more accents for characters, but I always feel kind of bad doing them, which is why I kind of like to pick ones that aren't really specific accents, like Kanji's, for instance, because I feel like anyone who actually has that accent listening is going to be like, oh my gosh, stop. I'm scared of doing a bad job, because I don't want to appear like... I don't want to appear stereotypical, for instance. Like, you know, it's very easy to get an accent wrong and make it sound like you're basically making fun of that kind of accent, which is never my intention at all. You know, it's always for like an artistic purpose. Um, so like there was Kanji, for instance, and I don't know what Kanji's accent is. I've heard some people say that it sounds German, some people say it sounds like Swedish, some people say it sounds Russian, some people say it sounds French, and there's just, you know, a lot of different things. But literally what the inspiration for it was literally just Sleepy Kitty. That's all it was. It was a very sleepy cat. And the funny thing is, if I actually end up doing Kanji's voice, but I don't sound quiet anymore, it does actually sound a little bit different. For the Magic Academy one, hey, nice Mark came back at the perfect time. Welcome back. One of the things I wanted to do for the more recent character with the Magic Academy was to take inspiration from Anji. Was that her name? From Danganronpa V3, the artist character Anji, because I really liked her accent. It was really cute. It was kind of, she kind of didn't have she didn't make like T noises. It sounded like D instead, or like rather than TH. Like, I would like to pet this creature, like this kind of thing. I would like to be able to do this sort of thing, and as a result, I thought that would be kind of fun to give a shot. But of course, I don't know exactly what like nationality she was based off of, so I'm kind of worried of it not sounding particularly good. But either way, that is one thing I wanted to give a try. And then there are some other times where, because of how voices work, you know, I'll be voicing an accent and I'll be like, hey, it sounds pretty good. And then I'll listen to it like afterwards and be like, oh, it sounds terrible. It sounds so different. Can do Southern and British. That's the most used Southern one to scare off people. Right, what's the hardest accent? That really depends on, you know, like, who you are and what your experience is. Like, okay, if you have a Cockney accent, that's perfectly fine. You are a perfectly fine human being. There is nothing wrong with you. That being said, I cannot stand Cockney accents, but the stereotypical ones. I have heard people do bad Cockney accents, and I hate it. It's like scraping a knife against a chalkboard to me. And again, nothing against the people that have one. You are perfectly fine. I hate people that do stereotypical impressions of your voice. That's the thing that really gets to me. But either way, Southern? Oh my gosh, I did a Southern accent. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, for Cyberpunk, when I voiced Nathan. Welcome to Knot City. How you doing around here? Yeah, oh my god, I totally forgot, because, so, Nathan's accent, a long time ago, a couple of my friends wanted to do a roleplay series on Red Dead Redemption Online, or Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, and they wanted me to help them out. And so I was playing a character, and I needed to learn how to do a, Southern accent. And that's gradually where I learned how to do it. And there was one day, it was so amazing, because I have a friend who was actually like from Texas, and he kind of speaks like this unironically. I was talking like this the whole time, and while we were doing the role play, and we were on set for like 5 or 6 hours, and then I get out and I go to like a call with him, and I'd been talking like this for so long that I just lapsed into it subconsciously. So when I joined the call, I was still talking like that. So he's like, "Hey, Coffee, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing real well. You know, we just finished recording a little bit of the Red Dead Redemption thing, and things went pretty well." And he's like, "Why are you talking like that?" I'm like, "Why am I talking like?" Oh my god, I didn't even realize I gotten so into character. Yeah, I want to try doing a British one as well, but I am not confident in my British accents. I did one. Part of the reason I think why I dislike Cockney accents is because I had to do one for Alice in Wonderland, because I was the narrator, and I was the March Hare, and I was the Griffin, and I was a wing on the Jabberwock, and I was a card, and I was something else. And I had to do a lot of like Cockney accents. I remember my instructor was always going like, "You have to make it sound more British," and I'm like, "This young lady, she wants for to know your history, she do." And they were like, "No, you got to do it even more." I'm like, "How could I possibly sound more Cockney than this?" Oh my god, it's been such a long time. I don't even remember how to do it anymore. Sometimes the characters becomes the creator. Yes, exactly. It's like, oh boy, sometimes to a boggling degree. Oh, yeah, this one's definitely going to require a little bit. It's definitely going to require a little bit more practice. Funnily enough, a lot of the times I try to do British, it ends up unintentionally lapsing into like Australian, but like stereotypical Australian. Someone mentioned earlier they were from Australia, and I'm sorry, I can't. I would love to do an Australian accent, but I can't do it without it sounding so stereotypical. And I rarely hear Cockney accents, but I'm glad they don't have an accent at all. But I sound very formal. People find it funny. No, not your Oreo. Yeah, I've been told that I have a Canadian accent. I don't know what that sounds like. To me, it always sounds very neutral. The only thing I could really think of, though, is there are some words that I'll kind of like, I want to say abbreviate, but that doesn't sound like the right word, but like something, for instance, I won't say something, I'll say something, or like something, just kind of like skipping a couple of phrases. Or yeah, right there, I did that without even thinking, which was, rather than saying skipping, I said skipping. So usually it's like ing sounds. Not all of them though, I'll still say thing. Like, a thing is happening. But yeah, basically. Also, fun fact to anyone that does not live in Canada. 1. The rumors about us saying sorry all the time are very true. Anyone who, it's not not as much as the stereotypes would lead you to believe. But, like, for instance, as an example, I was in the grocery store the other day, and a lady was looking at some peanut butter, and I wanted to look at the peanut butter, so I was just waiting for her. She turned around and goes, "Oh, sorry," and she backs up, and that's it. It's basically, people will do it when they acknowledge that they were a minor inconvenience to you, and that's just how it is. Whenever I did a British accent for an ASMR right after I spent like an hour doing it, I spent probably 4 hours every time the same accent. I got a weird look from my family. very much into character. I respect that. Very realistically, coffee mugs cannot be warm in December. I work at Starbucks and the customers always complain about their cappuccinos being cold after 15 minutes before. Therefore, you're a cold coffee mug in a good way. I will find a way to maintain my heat. That is just how I be. That is how I be. It's not realistic, but I don't care. Anyway, but yeah, so, the sorry thing is not a stereotype to think. 2, we do not say a in every single goddamn sentence. I see that all the time. I really hate that stereotype. It feels very disrespectful. It's usually a way of somebody asking for your opinion. Like, that seems like a bad idea, eh? Something like that. And I don't say it very often, but it's kind of like somebody, it's like the verbal equivalent of nudging you with their shoulder, going like, "I would like your input on this thing," essentially. And that's just basically what it is. We do not say it at the end of every single sentence. 3, and this is something that I cannot stress enough. Our Parliament building is not an igloo. The rumors are not true. We do not live in igloos. Our houses, I am living in a house made out of brick and other materials I don't know about, but are definitely not snow, because I am not a construction worker. But yeah. Anyway. Okay. Y'all, do you play sports? I play volleyball. I used to play soccer. I was forced into it, and I hated it a lot. I don't hate being active. I hate being forced to do things I enjoy. I hate being forced to do things just in general. I was a commentator for esports. I did commentary. Only a couple times. It was a Warzone gig and a League of Legends gig. And that was fun. You know, commentary kind of helps, but that's definitely not like being. I wouldn't consider that a sports player. I actually cries one time because of one of the complaints. Let's see. Whoops. Volleyball. Okay, it seems like a lot of people in volleyball. Don't really like sports. Played softball for 8 years. Okay. Don't really like sports, so I still kind of am a theater kid. Yeah, my main thing is theater, and trust me. Oh, the physical warm-ups and training and choreographing is a workout in of itself. I don't really go out of my way to work out. I want to, but I'm scared to go to the gym because I'm not very muscular. Like, I do have a fair bit of muscle on my arms from working in the warehouse, but I'm mostly very scrawny. And so I hate going to the gym because I'm super self-conscious about it. Otherwise, I totally would. So I don't really work out that often. You know, I walk and go for runs, but that's about it. But, oh my gosh. Movement class. Dude. Art is not boring. You are not boring for being an artist. The world is so much cooler and so much more interesting to live in because of artists. Look at this banner. I didn't make it. An artist that was willing to make it for me made it. Look how cute it is. Look how cool it is. Look at all these special effects and stuff. Artists made those. It brings light and warmth to the world. It's not boring. It is not boring. Okay, anyway, so back to the movement exercises. So basically, it's like every single day when we're warming up, when we're like doing a scene, for instance, you got to run through the same movements over and over and over again, and it can get tiring. And you got to like do warm-ups beforehand that both involve like vocal ones, but also physical ones, which require a lot of stretching, a lot of jogging, and even yoga, since it opens up your body quite a bit. And overall, despite the fact that I don't go out of my way, yeah, the gym is scary. Despite the fact I don't really go out of my way to like exercise all that much, I came home for the holidays and stepped on a scale and I had lost 5 pounds. And I was like, how? And then I found out it's because the program I'm in is getting me into alarmingly good shape. And I would not have it any other way, to be perfectly honest. It's funny how I try very hard to like do these types of streams where I want to speak in a low voice and help everyone fall asleep, but then I get so into what I'm talking about that I pick up and speak really, really quickly. This is how it be. 1 second, the championships. Oh, nice. Okay, family, have to go. All right. See you later, Castillo. Goodbye. Take care. Yeah, okay. I think, ow. Thanks for the time, coffee cup. You're welcome. See you later. Lost a bunch of weight over the year. Went from 220 to 181, aiming at 175. Okay. Goals are definitely good. Coffee, it's working. What's working? What is working? Your voice. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it's working. Oh. I hear the cats meowing. Do they want attention? Waiting in suspense to know what's working. Yeah. I haven't bought Christmas gifts yet, so yeah, fun. Christmas gifts are expensive, you know, man. They're essay for exams. Uh-oh. Everyone's opinion on high school bathrooms. The bathrooms I had in high school, you know, they were fine. They worked. Not incredibly clean, but not messy either. A lot of people also like to go in them and get high. I was not one of those people, but, you know, whenever I see a group of people in a funny smelling bathroom, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to the ones on the other side of class. Or on the other side of school. What is going on? Sorry, I hear the cats meowing quite a lot. I think they might want something. Maybe they're hungry since BB knocked their food dish over. All right. How long do we got left in this banner? A fair bit of time. That's fine. Okay. I think I should probably go check up on the cats, but I think this is likely a good stopping point. We have been streaming for quite a long time, and it definitely seems like everyone has had a long enough time to say their spiel and say their piece. Plus, my voice is also getting tired, and I have some Skyrimming. Some skies to be rimming. Yeah, no, okay. Anyhow, now we're gonna. So, really quickly, this isn't like this banner here isn't the natural one that I usually have. This is like an actual, like, live from my monitor. So, yeah, I gotta open it like this. Wow. Look at that. This is unfortunately what Stream Elements forced me to do. But either way, yeah. Okay. Wow, this looks so complicated. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to the stream. I hope you all had a lovely time, and I hope you guys are, congratulations, nothing else, feeling a little relaxed. I will do my best to post something before Christmas, but if I don't, well, don't be surprised. Writer's block is, you know, it is what it is. I would try grabbing one of the cats and bring them in here to say bye, but that'd probably take me too long. So, I'll just tune out now. Alright. See you all later, and if you practice it or celebrate it, you have a Merry Christmas or whatever it is along your lines that you want to celebrate. Anyway, good night. Now we click stop streaming.